Hello. Hello, Annalisa? What happened? Hello, Annalisa? What happened? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Fall River Media. Let me see here. What's going on here? Hello? Wait a second here. All right. Well, I got to send you another link. I got to fix my microphone.
Technical difficulties?
Yep. There it is again.
How's dinner, dear?
All right. Hello, Anna?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Oh my God, what happened? That was bizarre.
That everything's bizarre. So is the whole entire damn Fall River's bizarre. Telling you, you got we have a we got a city councilor is looking for looking to get more signatures. Ricky Tiff, he's looking to get more signatures. He's a really nice guy too. He asked me to help him, but right now I can't. I got my hands full here. You know what I'm saying? but with all kinds of radio stations and stuff. Oh, telling you, backaches. I'm telling you. so I first things first. I'm going to eat dinner and talk at the same time because that's what I like to do. So, but
I like to have coffee and do this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, so I'd like to eat dinner and do this. And so first things first. I'm going to touch on the Fall River Police Department that was that pleaded not guilty to the home invasion at that point. So, but anyways, the Fall River Police Department, the Fall River police officer pleaded not guilty to the home invasion. He actually said that he was actually looking for a woman. So we don't even know what woman he was looking for.
Girlfriend, I think. Ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, so it's like maybe an ex-girlfriend or something that he knew, and maybe he thought that she lived there, but I think he
well, wasn't he drunk?
Oh yeah, he was drunk. Yeah, I mean he was off duty when he did all this. You know what I'm saying? So, so he's on administration leave right now because.
Oh, he is. Yeah, good.
Yeah. Oh, he has a lawyer. I mean, a good lawyer. I know who the lawyer is because she was on Fall River Raw at one point, and she's a really damn good lawyer. And he'll.
Well, what are the charges? What's he fighting?
Okay. The charges that he's fighting is drinking and breaking and entering, and drunk.
Well, he did do those things, so why is he
So yeah,
doing
so he
that?
did. So he did do those things. So, so,
Jeez.
so right now we're streaming on just YouTube right now because StreamYard, I don't know, lost my Facebook page at some point. So
What?
yeah,
Really?
yeah. So I gotta refix that again. So we're gonna do YouTube right now. So
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, so that's fine. I'm all good with that.
Whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, because I don't want no riffraffs on. People telling
Yeah.
me, call me a damn liar and everything. So
Oh, yeah. I get that on TikTok. Can I come on? Can I come on? I'm like, no, because I don't feel like arguing with you. So, no.
no, I don't feel like going down your house and fucking, and beating your ass or some shit.
You know? Jeez.
Yeah. But anyways, all right. So, and then the other thing we were supposed to be talking about was Curtis Leewood. I mean, remember I showed you that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's he won the Republican primary for mayor of New York.
yes, he did, and I think but really, I think Curtis Leewood, Curtis, I think he's going to be a good mayor of the city of New York City because
He has to win. That other nut job cannot win.
no, we cannot have him win because if Como wins again, guess what's gonna happen? We are gonna have another shit show like we did back
Yeah.
in 2016 and 2024 and 2020. So,
Yeah,
uh,
but the communist Muslim is going to be worse.
yep, the communist Muslims, yeah, and plus we have the Pakistan, those people, that march through New York City, So I mean, those people. Oh my God, them people. Them people drive me crazy. Uh, you ever see the
So I think the New York mayoral race is November, just like the one in Boston,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah,
So that Republican, I mean, it's like in Massachusetts, for instance, in the Boston mayor race, there are no Republicans.
no, there ain't not
How
one.
how is it that New York City can get a Republican candidate? How is that like even possible?
I don't know that. Well, well,
Do
there
you know what
is
I mean?
some.
Like, how is
Yeah,
it that in New York, which is, I guess, a blue state, I don't know. I think I think it's swung over to red, that have Republican elected officials in New York State, because the upper part of New York State is more Republican.
yeah.
I think as you go to the city, it kind of changes. But there is a Republican candidate for New York City. So how is it that New York manages to get Republican candidates? That's a huge city that has way more many people than Boston does, and Boston can't even manage to get a Republican candidate. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Where
I mean,
where's the mass GOP? Where are these people
I
that
have to
they
know
can't
when.
that they can't put forth a Republican candidate for the mayor's race in Boston?
I can't. I don't. I don't really. I just can't. I just can't. I mean, put my. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know.
I know, but they're not doing their job. Okay, they
Nope.
changed the chairperson from Jim Lyons to Amy Carnivale, and I don't know what the heck she's doing. I don't know what she's doing.
Me either.
And how she got elected. How did she get elected? These people in the Republican Party of Massachusetts is doing nothing.
Nope.
I don't understand. They should have candidates for all these races. They should be endorsing them. They should be out there, meet and greet with people. They're doing nothing.
Yep, nobody is.
How do you expect a Republican candidate to win when they're just sitting on their laurels? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I wish I knew.
The Republican Party, doesn't have a lot of compared to the Democrats because the independents are the most. But compared to the Democrats, but they did get more people, by the way, because the Democrats are losing people. How can the Mass GOP not get the registered Republicans together and get some candidate going and back them up? How is it that this doesn't happen? Like, why doesn't this happen?
I have no clue. I wish I knew. I mean, New York City's got way more than Boston's got, and I can't understand why Boston don't even have that many. Massachusetts.
They have. I mean, even so, what if they don't win? The point is, you got to get yourself, the Republican Party, out there because you never know who can change, who's like wishy-washy with the Democrats or win the independent vote. You're gonna get more people to vote for the Republicans if you have a candidate and you endorse them.
Yeah.
They're not even endorsing any of the Republican governor candidates, the two.
Nope. They're not, really. They're not.
Right. So what's up with that?
I have no idea what's up with that. I wish I knew.
What are they doing? Like, what are they doing? Just like, what are they doing? They're like a lump on a log. So why have a Mass GOP committee or whatever you want to call it when they do nothing? I don't get it.
Yeah.
This is such a great opportunity for the Republicans
Yes, there is.
to point out the mess that Massachusetts is in right now, and they say nothing.
Mhm.
And they say nothing.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, look at it. That's a total mess.
It is crazy, and it doesn't make sense because
No.
that state, Massachusetts, is not doing well under
Nope.
this leadership, especially under Maura Healey, Michelle Wu, trying to find more money because Boston is losing their tax base. They're losing the businesses.
Yep.
So the money's not coming in like it used to.
No, it's
And
not.
now they're trying to find other ways to get money.
Nope, it's not.
And instead of trying to figure out how to cut taxes, they're trying to figure out how to increase it. Right?
Right, yeah. Well, that's Governor Moore.
Right.
That's Governor Moore Healy for you. She's trying to figure out how to increase taxes instead of cutting it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And the answer too is that if somebody can't afford something, there's a government program waiting in the wings for you. There's no mention about the
Yeah.
economy, job growth. No, it's you're going to get on government assistance. That's all taxpayer money.
Government assistance.
That's all taxpayer money that these programs that people are using, and the government gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep.
And the taxes will keep going up and up and up because who's going to fund it? It has to be the taxpayer.
We're the ones that are going to give it.
What?
We're the ones that are going to give the money.
Right. That's
Coming
right.
out of our pockets. We're millionaires. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, it's coming out of people's pockets, and then the money is going to the illegals and the Communist Party. How are the towns and the cities in that state going to survive when the money gets redirected to people that shouldn't be getting it?
Well, I have no clue. I mean, if I had the answers to that, believe me, I would say something about it, but I don't have the answers to that. It's just, well, how do I want to explain this one? Uh, it's just that I'm just going to say that Governor Healy. I mean, all she's doing is raising taxes instead of cutting it. You know what I'm saying? That's all she's doing. And she's still, and again, we talked about this many times. She's supporting the communist. She's supporting not the Communist Party, but the illegal aliens. She's supporting them. She's actually
She's
supporting them.
supporting the Communist Party too. She's doing
She's
both.
also, yeah. So look where our trains are made. You know what I'm saying, look at under the Baker administration. Look under the Baker administration. Look where our trains are being made. You know what I'm saying? Our trains are not being made. Trolley cars, trains. They're not being made in America. They're being made in China.
No, the factory is in Springfield for Boston. For Boston, the Chinese company is in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So that the MBTA, which is run by the state, and they're using taxpayer money to pay this communist party and this communist so-called company
Mhm.
to make subway cars for, I believe, 2 lines on the subway, in the subway. The red line and the orange line, but I thought I saw something, I thought it expanded. But their production and the way they make it is so bad that it doesn't pass inspection.
Yep.
And so money keeps going to this company. Why? Why do they keep feeding this company when they do not do a good job? When you don't do a good job at any job that you do, you get fired.
Yeah, you do.
You don't perform like you're supposed to, you're going to get fired. How is it that this company that it does not do well in the production and
Yeah.
doesn't come out with good railway cars or subway cars keep getting money?
I have no idea.
These are the things that people need to be aware of in Massachusetts. I don't think they're aware of it because the media doesn't talk about it.
Nope, the media don't talk about it.
No, and they don't know anything because the media doesn't say anything, so they think nothing is wrong when it's so not true. It's so total opposite.
I have no idea. Oh, I'm telling you, things are just such a mess.
Well, again, if when I did that live this morning on Facebook with
Let's talk about that.
socialism and communism, I
Yeah.
didn't think I was going to get a reaction like I got a reaction. I got a lot of views on that compared to others that I've done.
Oh, you
And
did.
I did. And so that, that is like the question, because in Massachusetts is the number 2 welfare recipient in the country.
Yeah, Massachusetts. You're right. I agree.
So I don't know what that number is. 50%, 60%, 70%. I don't know.
I think it's. I know it's not 70%, but I think it's 50%. I think it is. If my calculations is right.
So those people that are receiving government assistance, and I'm not talking about the ones that really need it. That's different. I'm talking the ones that are committing fraud,
Yeah.
that don't really need it, are the ones that are pushing for this socialist idea so that they take money from the rich so that their programs can get taxed and they can keep getting this money without doing anything. That's called stealing.
Yes, it is, and it's called fraud too.
Right.
Which is they don't, which is those kind of people don't even know that anyway. So they probably don't even know the difference.
No, they
It's
know.
close. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
They know what
it's
they're doing. They know what they're doing.
of course. Hey, did you see that thing there with President Trump? He was live again. That thing with President Trump again. He was live again, and he was talking about somebody's kid that passed away or something. Something happened.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
The
actually
girl.
talking about that. The girl. I mean that was pretty cool of President Trump doing that. You know what I'm saying, talking about that because that was actually that was a big thing, and also that new bill, that beautiful bill that they said that they're hoping Congress pass, which is I hope Congress does pass it because there. Excuse me. The reason why I say that is because that bill is going to help out a lot of people. Okay, that bill is going to help out the border patrol and everything. Okay, people are actually saying, "Oh, that that bill is going to we're going to be we're going to go into inflation." No, we're not going to go into inflation. That bill's going to help. That bill's going to help the border patrol. That bill's going to help. A lot of people. You know what I'm saying? That bill is going to grow growth. Well, not growth. I'm on a. I forgot. He said it so slow. Trump said it low. It's going to help out a lot of people. Trump said. So, what do you think about that beautiful bill?
I know that there are some Republicans that don't like it, and they're trying to iron it out. I know Massey did not like it at one point because of the spending.
Yeah.
So they don't, with Massey and the others that don't like the spending part of it, for them, it's like they don't see the savings. Like they don't see this bill as cutting back the savings. As a matter of fact, I think they said it's going to cost more.
So, what's your take on it, though?
But President Trump said that because of the tariffs, there's billions and billions of dollars coming into this country because of that. So if we can offset that spending that's going to be happening in the bill, and we're going to get the money coming in, maybe it's a good idea to pass it. But I don't think that they're looking at that right now. They're just
Well,
looking at the spending because we're trillions of dollars in debt. Trillions.
yeah, we are trillions of dollars in debt. But I have one guy. He said to me, he says the only way that bill will go through if all Republicans remove the bill in its current form. We will add $5 billion to our deficit, and even Rand Paul and Tom Massive doesn't like it. So somebody actually said that, and he also said it would go like $5 trillion to our deficit. But
Right.
somebody else is putting their, their,
Yeah, it's gonna, and that's what they said. That's why they don't like the bill. That's why Rand Paul and Thomas Massey don't like the bill, because it's gonna add debt to what is already trillions of dollars. It's gonna add 5 trillion. So they
so,
don't like that. They don't like.
so, so, so what you're saying is that we shouldn't add any more. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, if it were me and I was looking at my budget and I saw a deficit, I wouldn't be spending more money
No, probably not.
unless like President Trump said today on the live a little while ago,
Hmm.
money is coming in from the tariffs. Okay, so he's trying to say that the billions that are coming in might offset that extra 5 trillion that's going to be spent. But we still have a debt. We still have a big deficit.
Yeah, we
Now,
do.
President Trump is trying to primary out Thomas Massey of Kentucky.
Yeah,
And a lot of people like Thomas Massey.
yeah.
But President Trump does not like this guy at all, because he always votes no on everything that the Republicans want.
Mhm.
Now, because he's a Republican and so is Rand Paul.
Rand Paul's a Republican too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're both Republicans. They don't like what's going on with that bill, and there are 3 others that didn't like it either.
Yeah.
I would want to know what they would like to cut. Like, what would they like to see to make them vote for the bill? Like, does anybody ask them? They're in Congress, they got elected, they're in the Republican Party,
Yep.
and they don't agree with what President Trump is doing with this big, beautiful bill. So why isn't it that they just go to these 5 people that didn't vote for the bill initially and ask them, what is it that you would like to see? What is it that you would want to cut? And see what they say.
I would agree with that too. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Because right now, the way President Trump is, and I don't blame him. I can understand where he's coming from, and I'm not. Nobody's perfect, and I know he wants this bill passed because it's going to help a lot of Americans not be taxed on tips, on Social Security. It's gonna have more money spent on the ICE agents and all that. Okay, so that's all important things.
Well, yeah. Tom Homan did talk about the ICE agents.
Right. So
Yeah.
more money is going to go to the southern border, which I agree with. I agree with the not taxing part either, which means that less money is going to be coming into the federal government
Yep.
because of the taxes. No taxes on Social Security, no taxes on tips, but there's still a good chunk of people that are going to be paying taxes.
Sure enough. Yep.
And so he wants to reduce that. But still, the spending, according to Thomas Massey and Rand Paul, is still too high, that it adds. That's what they say. But I don't know what their perspective is, because I don't think anybody has asked. So the only thing they say is that it increases the spending by 5 trillion. Okay, well then what is it that you want to do?
Oh, somebody said something. Read this.
The thing is, the US got around 5 trillion tax revenue last year. Tariff revenue was around 74 billion. So if we only rely on tariffs, where is the 4.8 trillion supposed to come from? Well, that's what they're saying. So why are they adding 5 trillion? So
Yeah,
that
well,
so 5 trillion is from he thinks is because we got. Can you put that back up again? That we got 5 trillion
I'll
in
put it back up. Go
tariffs
ahead.
or tax tariff revenue. Oh, 74 billion for, yeah, that's what President Trump said. There's billions coming in from tax revenue right now, and it's going to add like 5 trillion in spending, and we got tax revenue last year, so that's going to cover the 5 trillion. Is that what he's trying to say? So if we only rely on tariffs, where's the other 4.8 trillion supposed to come from? And but I think that's what they're trying to say. I think that's what Massey and Rand Paul are trying to say. It's
I
like
think that's what they're trying to. I think that's what
we're
Master and
still
Grant Paul's trying to say too.
we're still going to be in debt. We're still going to have the same debt. It's the
Yes.
same. It doesn't lower the debt.
No. It's not going to lower it. We're still going to. The debt's going to still be there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, so it's not going to help out with the debt unless President Trump will use the other tariff money that I guess is still going to be coming in. And the manufacturing hasn't started either. So the manufacturing companies haven't come in yet. So
yeah.
jobs haven't been created yet, which will cause more tax revenue. But again, what is it that he's going to do with it? That's the question. When the money starts coming in, hopefully from these manufacturing companies, and people will start working again and get rid of the illegals that are taking the jobs away from Americans.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that President Trump is trying to, get rid of the illegal aliens out of this country. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to do that. But Governor Moore Healy, on the other hand, okay, is supporting them with money. You know what I'm saying? Like building shelters for them and giving them all kinds of stuff. Oh my God, yeah.
Well, there's the problem with Mara Healy, in my opinion, with Massachusetts is that the illegals have stopped coming in. So there are no more illegals coming in, and there are no more illegals coming into any of the states, but particularly Massachusetts, because of the right to shelter law that they have there. So they're not coming in. So why is Mara Healy spending taxpayer dollars on housing? Why is she still so obsessed with housing when the illegals are not coming in, the border is closed? When the job growth rate in Massachusetts is the worst in the country, according to the Labor Statistics Bureau of the United States. They're the worst. So where is, that guy questioned President Trump and all that. And I don't know if he's from Massachusetts, but if you are, how come do you ask the same question about Mara Healy and where that money is coming from concerning the illegals and the MBTA that still has a contract with the CCP of China? Does he ask that question? Like, where is she getting that money? And why is she using taxpayer money to flip real estate properties in Massachusetts? Like, why is that happening?
Taxpayers are paying for it.
Yeah, but it's never happened before. It's always
Why?
private investors that have done that. Why is doesn't anybody understand what I'm trying to say? Why is the government involved in buying real estate?
The state has spent $4.5 billion and towards sheltering and legals.
Yes.
That's insane. I am a center liberal, but that is insane. She needs to go. Baker left her a budget surplus, but now that is not the case.
Yeah,
See, even the
because
liberals talking about this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I know this off topic, but you have seen a difference in the Fall River Police Department. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I don't know if I ever saw the difference of the Florida Police Department, but all I know, we're gonna get back to that topic at the end of my show. So we're gonna get back at that
So
topic.
the question that he asks about that other guy that talked about
Okay, that's my friend James.
President Trump asking questions on the budget, the same should be done with Mara Healey and not just the illegals. Yes, everybody knows now how much money is being spent on the illegals, but nobody talks about what's going on with the MBTA and the CCP China company that is in Springfield. Like, you guys don't talk about that. You're center liberal. And the liberals are the ones that make all the noise, even though you're not the majority. The independents are. So I don't understand. Like, yeah, the illegals, and it is too much money. Why isn't it that you don't ask questions about her, the government, the state buying up real estate with taxpayer money? Like, why is that not a question? Why is it not a problem that 72% of the people in Massachusetts voted for a legislative audit and that is not happening? Why don't you talk about those things as well? Because the Democrats, I don't know if he's a Democrat, I guess he is, are not doing well, especially
Oh no,
nationally.
he's independent.
Okay. But he's
So
a liberal.
yeah, but
So he
he's
votes Democrat. So he votes Democrat. Whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, he's an independent, but he probably votes Democrat and is probably always very quick. These people are very quick to criticize President Trump when they don't see what is going on in their backyard, which is worse. It's worse. Why isn't it that you're not talking about the job growth and the economy in that state?
Well, the job growth, we don't even have any job growth over here in this state.
Well, that's
We
what I'm
don't.
saying. Why is it that you're worried about the illegals? That money should not be going to the illegals. I agree.
Well,
I
he doesn't. Yeah, I mean, see, see, like we talk, we know when he asks me, and sometimes he'll agree with me on things, and sometimes he won't. You know what I'm saying? But he's, he's moderate. You know what I'm saying? So,
It doesn't
and
look. It's not. That's not the issue. I'm asking the question as to why, if you're a liberal and you vote Democrat and you're an independent, why is it that you don't ask the questions as to why is Mara Healey spending taxpayer money on buying real estate, and where is the private investor? Like, what happened with that? What is going on with that? Why is the energy bills so high in that state? Why did she close two gas pipelines that probably contributed to the price hike and is all about renewable energy? Now that government there in Massachusetts want to know how many miles people are driving because they don't want you to use a car. When does this crap end? Because a lot of people don't care. They would rather keep voting for the same thing over and over. I voted third party last election. I want another party independent in Congress. Dems aren't saying.
he's
Oh, yeah. Who's the third party? Who's the third party? The last election,
I don't,
Libertarian.
yeah, libertarian. I think it was.
Because I think they were on the ballot. They usually are.
Yeah,
On the ballot.
libertarians were on a ballot.
So it is the same thing over and over again. But even so, even if you voting for a third party, the question still remains as to what is going on with the people of Massachusetts that keep voting in this nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make. And why is it that so few come out and vote? That's another problem.
There's
That's
a
another
well,
problem.
there's a big problem in our election. So I mean, there's a big problem.
And then you've got 72% of the people that voted for the legislative audit, and it's
Yeah.
not even being done. How is this is not a representative government? This is not a republic.
Well,
This is turned into tyranny. This is turned into tyranny.
most likely it did. Yep. This did turn
Well,
into
it is.
tyranny
It is tyranny.
because the audit passed at 72%. And the audit passed to get 72%. Let me make that very clear. And and all of a sudden, once that audit passed, they didn't want it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering why. How come they did not want it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because they want to just do.
Who's they? You mean the people on Beacon Hill?
The people on Beacon Hill, yeah. Why?
Send me a link to the show, David, on the messenger. Send me a link to
Just
the
go
Wait,
to. Wait, hold on, Anna. Linda, just go to Fall River Media News on YouTube.
Gotcha, I'll do it.
So, I mean, well, I mean, I don't think that that's really hard to answer. They don't want the audit because
It is. It's hard to answer that question.
no,
because
it isn't. It's not because there's a lot of corruption going on. They don't want you to know what's going on if there's an audit. You know how much crap they're going to find in that?
yeah, they're gonna find a lot of crap in them audits.
I call out Maura Haley with that all the time. She even allowed the energy companies to charge whatever they want. The audit won't happen because the Dems will be exposed with fraud and waste. Right. It's not going to happen because there's a uni party going on Beacon Hill. That's the problem. And again, where is the mass GOP? Where are the Republicans? How is it that New York City can have a mayor? That city is huge, meaning there's heavily populated, that can manage to get Republican candidate on the ticket, and Massachusetts can't do that, which with a much smaller population. The whole state is about 7 million.
Linda says, "Who's benefiting from all this?
Who benefits from what?
Who's benefiting? And who's benefiting?
Who benefits from the audit not being
Yeah.
done?
Yeah,
Is that what she's talking about?
I think that's what she's talking about.
Well, they're saving their skin. That's what they're doing.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah, they are. They're saving their skin.
How can people not know at this point that there's so much corruption? How can they not know this with the way that state is being run? And then they keep voting in the same people. And I think the problem is, and why these people get voted in all the time, is because people don't show up to vote. That's the problem. I guarantee you that that's the problem. You only have 20 to 25% of people that are voting, and they're voting in these kooks. Where is everybody else? Where are the others that should be voting these people out?
Well,
Why don't they vote? Why is it when I was campaigning
yeah.
a few years back, I came across maybe if I talked to 10 people, I would say maybe half said they were not going to vote. So what makes them not want to vote? So something is wrong, right? With the candidates, with something isn't right if these people, if 80%, 75 to 80% of the people don't go out and vote. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. That means out of 10 people, only 2 or 3 are voting.
Yep. Low voter turnout.
That's right. Turns in, yes, it favors the incumbents. That's right.
Of course.
That's right. It does. So why, again, Why don't they go vote? Is this what they want? Do they do it on purpose so that they can get these idiots back in? Or
Yeah,
is it
I
because they
think.
don't like the candidates? I don't know. Like, does anybody know
Well,
why they
I'm
did
well.
it?
I'm gonna say, okay. I'm gonna say this, okay. Maybe they just don't like the candidates. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they just don't. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. That's why we always have these low voter turnouts all the time.
You
You know
know
what I'm
what?
saying?
You know what I heard from people when they would tell
Go
me
ahead.
why they didn't vote was because they thought their vote didn't matter.
I had a lot of people tell me that too myself
Yeah,
at one
just
point.
Linda just said it that their vote doesn't matter. And it's probably the other two that they don't like the candidates, but it's
Yeah.
also that they think their vote doesn't matter because it's rigged. They think it's rigged. It's the younger population doesn't know what to do. That's true, and they hear free college stuff, but little do they know it's not free. Yeah, that's true too. That's another problem
Yeah. We
because
have.
in the
Thanks, Eric.
Democratic primary for mayor in New York City, that's exactly what happened. The younger people came out to vote and voted for this communist Muslim that said that they were going to have free stuff. That's exactly what happened. That's right. That's right.
Well,
You're
that's
right.
why. That's why we have a Republican in New York City running for mayor. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, and where again, I'll keep asking it. Where is the mass GOP? Where are the candidates for the mayors and everything else in that state other than governor? Other than because governor, like Republicans do win, the governor seat here and there.
yeah.
But the others, like in Swampscott, heaven forbid there's a conservative on there. They'll kick you out. If they know you're a conservative, they don't want you there.
They're gonna kick your ass out.
What's the problem with having a conservative? These people that are so inclusive and diverse that they're always talking about. But if there's a Trump supporter, if there's a conservative, somehow that's a problem.
Yep.
That's right. Write an alternative. Exactly. And then we said that before as well. If you don't like someone, it's not an excuse not to go and vote. Write in the blank. Write yourself in. Who cares? As long as they don't get the vote.
I'm thinking about doing that, writing myself in.
Yeah. If you don't like any of the candidates, write yourself in. I would do that. If I don't like anybody, I
Hey, you
would.
know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write myself in. I'm gonna write myself in the school committee. I'm gonna write myself in, and then in governor, I'm gonna write myself in too.
Well, you've got
What?
two Republicans that are running for governor.
Well, you'll have three.
Yourself.
Huh?
Well, but I don't understand like why the Mass GOP cannot gather Republican candidates in Massachusetts where the whole state has like 7 million people in it, and I'm sure New York City, which is smaller, has way more people, I believe, than 7 million. How can they manage to get a Republican candidate? How is this like, huh? I don't know. I don't get it. Let me
I
see.
don't either.
I don't. I really don't
It's,
get it. It's screwy.
yeah, Linda just well, see everybody. Look at this is what I'm going to say right now. Okay, you know, if you can write me in as in the school committee. Okay, please write me in, Dave Mead. Okay, from Fall River. Everybody knows me, so please write me in. And in 2026, when the governor race comes up, you guys could also write me in too, because I don't want Maura Healey to get the votes. Okay, so I don't want her to get the votes, and just write me in. Okay, don't worry about it. Write me in. Write me in as Dave Mead. David Mead Jr.
It'll come in double duck.
You can do that too.
Oh, I mean, I want to.
Who else would be better? AI would be better running the show.
So why don't we? So why don't we just vote AI in there? I can vote Marty. I got Marty over here. I can put Marty on a ballot.
Right. AI, who do you think we should vote for? I'm not going to do that. So there's about
Oh, go
eight
ahead.
and
Go
a
ahead.
half million people that live in New York City.
Yeah.
That don't know if that includes the illegals or not. I don't know. So that's 1.5 million more people than the whole state of Massachusetts, New York City has. So, and they can get a Republican candidate, but Massachusetts can't.
Yeah.
No excuse. There's no
There ain't no,
excuse for
yeah,
this.
there ain't no
There's
excuse,
no
man.
excuse.
Boston, New York City's got more Republicans, okay,
They
than
do. I
Boston
think they
does. Than Boston does. I mean, come
The
on.
whole state does, and the whole
The
state.
whole state, yeah.
Yeah, they have Republicans in DC. They have Republicans on the state level, but somehow Massachusetts can't seem to do that for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason is.
I don't either.
So Linda said it's not easy being a conservative in the university. You know what? It's not easy being a conservative, period, in the state of Massachusetts. It doesn't matter where you are. It's not easy being a conservative. They shut you down very quickly.
Oh, they do.
Very quickly. Okay, they got the big mouths. They threaten you. They troll you. They do everything they can to shut you up.
Yeah,
And the
well,
more
work
they
on it.
do that, the more I speak up. It's like,
Yeah.
you're not shutting me up. I'll
Oh, in
say
fact,
what I want. I'll follow who I want. They do not dictate my life. Period.
that is true. Yeah.
Period. Okay. I have a right to free speech. I have a right to my opinion. I have a right to how I want to live my life under the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and everything else. Nobody should be telling anybody what they should be doing. Least of all, the trolls that are idiots. We all know that.
Yeah.
It's also not easy to be a liberal in red states. I've experienced that in Utah when I used to live there. People really need to get along no matter what politics they believe in. Yeah, but you know what? Yes, and I agree that people do need to get along. But when you have extremes like the Democrat socialists that won in New York City, for instance, a Muslim
Yeah.
communist, in my opinion, that talks about free stuff, that talks about arresting Netanyahu, that wants to defund the police. That, I'm sorry, but I don't understand that like a liberal in the middle, like your friend is, would agree to that. So how can anybody agree to that, whether you're left or right or whatever? How can anybody like agree with that?
Well, he would never agree to defund the police. I mean, I can say that. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's what I'm saying. So the problem too is that the liberals now have a bad name because of the far left wing of the radical part of the party.
Yeah.
And that's why the Democrats are not doing well. They keep losing people because of these people. And they're being a little bit smart now. They're being a little bit smart, and they're coming out finally and saying that they don't like this guy that won the primary in New York City, the Democrat socialists. They're actually coming together, the Democrats, and saying that they don't like them. They don't like him. And they have to do that because they're going to lose their party if they don't.
Yep, that is true. Yeah.
If they don't
gonna
come
lose it.
out and speak out against these radicals that want to defund the police, that want to have a city-run grocery store, that want to have free transportation for everybody, spreading the wealth, redistributing the wealth. How can anybody stand for that? It just doesn't make sense. And they even said it. The Democrats even said it, that he's way too left. They even said it.
Yeah, I heard that too. That the Democrats said that he's way too left.
Well, they
Saying,
have
yeah,
to, because if they don't say anything, they're in even worse trouble than they were before. Now they said that in New York. They're being smart
yeah.
and coming out against him and saying that. They
Well,
have to be, because they're going to lose their party. They are going to lose their party. They
they
will.
don't. Well,
Will.
they don't want to lose.
Right.
They don't want to lose their party. That's why they're coming out and saying it. You know,
I don't think they have a choice at this point. I don't really don't think they have a choice because
The Democrats don't have a choice at this point.
no,
You know what I'm saying?
their approval rating is
Yeah.
so bad, the worst in congressional
Mhm.
history.
I
So
saw the
you got
ratings. It is.
Hakeem Jeffries that I think supports this nut job, and Chuck Schumer too. These are the people that need to go. Chuck Schumer needs to go. Hakeem Jeffries needs to go. That is the only way you're going to get change. Now, concerning the impeachment of President Trump, where at least you had about 80 Democrats that voted against it. I was born in central New York, which is conservative. Yes, the state votes blue because of the right. That's right. Disregard New York City and the state flips red. Yes, I think it did flip red. I think it did.
I think so too. I think it did flip
It
red.
did. Yeah, and that's usually the case with the cities, but the cities have to change too because crime is high, the
Too
education
high.
system doesn't work. Yeah, it's too high. So the cities have to stop with the Democrats and their spending. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. And the job growth should be the forefront of an issue. It should be. It needs to be. It needs to have. The cities need economic growth if they want to stay afloat. If people want to live in the city, they have to have a job so that they can survive.
Yeah.
If you downtown Boston, the Seaport area there, 30 to 50, the buildings there, the commercial buildings there, and maybe there are residentials too in there, have lost 30 to 50% of its value. 30 to 50%. Who cares if he's a Muslim? I'm just skeptical. Yeah, well, his policies would, him being a Muslim will influence those policies. Andrew Cuomo isn't good either, made the state say, I know, and the nursing home, right. That's right. So again, you have the Democrats that don't have good candidates. You have an extreme Muslim communist that would arrest Netanyahu if he becomes mayor. He said he would arrest Netanyahu if he came into New York City. Like what? And defund the police? You should care if he's a Muslim. You should care. And you should be skeptical of his policies. And you should be. It's not who cares if he's a Muslim. No, you should care. Because they don't have Christian values. They're very different than we are. They're not the same.
Yeah.
They don't assimilate. It's not good. Look at Omar. Look at her.
Omar. Yep.
She comes from where? Somalia?
She comes from Somalia.
She's a nut job. She's another one. She comes into this country marrying her brother?
Wow. Marrying her brother.
Yeah, to become a citizen, to stay here, to have this legal status so she can stay in this country.
Melissa Omar. Right?
Yeah, right. And did you know that Tim Walz is being accused of mastering the whole thing?
So Tim Walz is being accused of mastering the whole thing?
Yeah. The governor, Tim Walz of Minnesota, has been accused of the hitman of Tim Walz telling him who to do the job to.
Yeah.
They found the letter. They found the letter, and it was meant to go to Kash Patel.
Oh.
That letter was meant to go to Kash Patel, but they found it beforehand. And when I did a live on TikTok about that,
Yeah.
somebody or some people, I don't know, they don't tell you. TikTok doesn't tell you. I got violated for misinformation.
Wow.
And
TikTok did that.
yeah, and the Minnesota Star Tribune was the one that reported it.
Oh.
So yeah, and that's where I mean, I don't know these things. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't have this inside information. I'm
Yeah.
just looking at the reports, like the what they're reporting. And
Yes.
so this person said that it was misinformation. Well, it's not my information. It's coming from the Minnesota Star Tribune, where this man accused and said that it was actually the governor that told him to do this.
Wow. Governor
Because
Tim
he
Walz.
sided, like Linda said, because he sided with because she sided with the Republicans because of that. That's what they think. That's what they think. But we're never going to know because they do a very good job of covering it up. So if they're
Yeah.
covering it up, that means he did do something. That means he did do something.
Oh, he had them. So in other words, he had them killed. And
Yeah.
so he had the state representative murdered,
Yeah. And her husband, too. Both of them.
and their husband.
And
And
the
I
other
think
two that survived. And the other two that survived.
and the other two survived. But
Now, why would that guy, the hitman, go to just 4 people? Why just them? Why just them? So it had to be a hit. It had to be somebody told him to go after these people. It had to be. It had to be. In Minnesota. In Minnesota, I guess. I'm thinking.
well, I think you know something though. I think they should investigate what's his name again? I
Tim
forgot.
Walz.
Tim Walz. I think they should investigate him. The FBI should investigate him, the governor of Minnesota, because if he did this, okay, had these people murdered like this, I think they should investigate the governor of Minnesota. So and if he did do this, then he should be arrested and he should be put in jail for it.
David, they can't even arrest the mayors and the governors that have sanctuary cities and states. How are they going to arrest this guy?
So we got to. So then we got to
governor.
get rid of these sanctuary cities. Then we got to get rid of these things, so that way we can arrest these people.
Yeah, but they're not stopping. Michelle Wu doesn't stop. Governor Healy doesn't stop.
Well,
There's
we got to get rid of
still
her. We got to get rid of these people. Michelle
billions
Wu's
of
got to go. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but the people that are going to be coming in and replacing them, do they think that they need to stop this? That's the question.
Well, the question is we have to start asking these candidates if we start with that the voters are going to have to start asking these candidates if they're going to asking these questions. Are you going to stop these sanctuary cities? And so that way we can start arresting these people and putting these people behind bars. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we have to. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that I don't. So far, that hasn't happened, and I would love to see these people, the mayors and the governors, be arrested for breaking the federal law and harboring criminals. That's all. Do you know that what's his name? That guy that was deported from Maryland, the illegal,
Yeah.
and then some of these idiot Democrats went down there to bring him back. You know which one I'm talking about?
I think so. Yep. Go ahead.
Louis something or other. Well, apparently he was in Tennessee as well.
Mm.
And they stopped him. I think it was a traffic stop or something like that. And they found that he was smuggling, okay, people. He was smuggling people. So they got this jerk from Maryland, where I don't know where he's from. Like he was deported back to the country that he's from, and I'm not sure. Kilmar, thank you, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Yeah. So they went down there. Now he came back. Okay, so now he's in Tennessee, right? And so the judge said something about he can go free before his trial. But the ICE agents are waiting for him. They're going
Yeah.
to arrest him the minute he gets out. And he doesn't want to be set free because he knows the ICE agents are waiting to deport him. Guess where they want to deport him now?
Where?
A third world country.
Third world country.
Not where he's from, not where he's, from.
Yeah.
They want to put him someplace else.
Oh, third world country.
Yeah. Did you hear about? We can't assume that about Tim Wall. Let's just wait for more. If he did, he needs to book on. Sanctuary cities they actually violate federal law. Yeah, that's what I said. It's federal law. It violates federal law. That's why they should be arrested because they're harboring criminals. It's against.
Of course I mean, Minnesota is harboring criminals. You know what I'm saying?
So is
And they should.
Massachusetts. So is New York. So is
So
New
do you?
Jersey.
New
So is
Jersey.
Illinois. So is California. These
So-
huge cities have all these illegals. Fall River has them too. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
So that means. More Healy should be locked up. Okay. Tim
Yes.
Walz should be locked up. Then the
Yes.
governor of Chicago should be locked up,
That's right.
and the mayor. And
Yes.
the governor of New York should be locked up too. So they all should be locked up and thrown in jail because of they're harboring criminals in these states. They all should be arrested. They all should be investigated.
I bet you
Oh.
anything.
And he said, "Don't forget Utah."
Utah, like why Utah? Utah too
Well-
has a problem with the illegals.
Yeah, well, Utah too. Yep,
I know
think he's so-
Colorado. Utah is.
it's a
Oh,
sanctuary
it is?
state now. Not
Oh
kidding.
my God, I didn't know that.
It's
I
a
know,
sanctuary. He used
I
to
think-
live there.
Yeah, I think Denver is too. I think Denver is a sanctuary city, right? I think Colorado has that problem too.
So I think we should just lock
Well,
up the
even
governor.
Utah. So now we're gonna put Utah in there too. They gotta go too.
Yeah. So why don't we just lock up the governor of Utah too? Why not put them all
What
together?
about California? What about California? What about Arizona?
Hey, why don't we
What
just throw them
about?
all in jail?
Jeez. Yeah, you know what I love? I love what DeSantis is doing in Florida. Alligator
DeSantis.
Alcatraz. Did you hear about that?
Alligator Alcatraz. I heard about that one. DeSantis.
That's gotta be the best. ICE even declared Utah saying, wow.
Yeah.
You don't hear about Utah. I don't know why. I don't know why. they don't
I
talk
never.
about
I started hearing about Utah because my buddy, he used to live there, so I used to.
it. Ooh, what's the-
he's,
what's
he's
the
a great
capital
kid.
What's the capital of Utah? Jeez. I
Uh,
forgot.
Yeah. Let me. Yeah. It's. I even. What is the capital of Utah? Is that? It's. What is the capital of Utah? Wait a minute. Hold on, Linda. What is the capital of Utah?
Oh my God! It's Salt Lake City. Hello.
Salt Lake City. Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's where isn't that where the Muslims? Not the Muslims. The Mormons. Isn't that
The
where
Mormons are. Yep.
Yeah.
Salt Lake City. That's. Yeah. He even said it. Salt Lake City.
Yeah, Salt Lake
Thanks,
City.
James. Thanks, James. I appreciate that.
Isn't that where Bryce Canyon is too? Isn't that where I think Utah has Bryce Canyon? Doesn't it border Arizona, or am I thinking of something else?
I don't know if it's border of Arizona. I don't know. I never been there. He has though. He used to live there. That's
U.S.
it.
plans to listen to this. U.S. plans to deport Abrego Garcia to a country that's not El Salvador. That's where he's from. Prosecutor tells judge. So he's not even going to go back home. So I think the Democrats should have just minded their own business. I think that's what they're trying to say.
Wait a minute. Okay. Yes, that's where
Yes. Yeah.
L's church.
Yep, Utah's. Yes, and the Zion. That's beautiful. I don't know if anybody. I've been there. I was just doing a little tour of the Southwest. My God, Bryce Canyon is like holy moly, and even Zion National Park. Wow, beautiful.
He used to live there.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. He told me about that. It's beautiful over there. So yeah, it is. It's Canyon and Arizona National Park.
That's LDS is Latter Day Saints, right? Is that the Mormon Church, Latter Day Saints?
I think so. Yeah. Wait, LDS Church. Yeah, I think that's the Mormons Church. I think it is.
There's a lot of Mormons in Arizona too.
Oh,
because
he said correct.
Yeah, I think Utah and Arizona border each other. So there's a lot of Mormons in Arizona as well. They don't go to California. They're smart. These people are smart because
No,
of the
they
taxes.
don't. No, why? Because the
Expensive.
taxes are so high and it's very expensive. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I don't
Like
think
I said-
I don't think Utah's as expensive as like say Massachusetts and
Let me see. Wait a second here.
there's a bunch of
There is
them
a
in
bunch.
Idaho too. That must be close too. Yeah, Idaho. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he knows because he used to.
It's probably the border that state probably borders Utah as well. Yeah, because I used to live in Arizona, and I used to hear, "Oh, that's where all the Mormons live. That's where they were."
Oh, those people are pain in the neck, the Mormons. Oh my God, man! They even come up to you on the street over here. Hey, look it.
Yeah. They go door to door. That's right.
I mean, they come up to you on the street. I mean, come on, they're pain. I mean, hey, look, I'm a Baptist, okay? Oh, do you want a more? No, I'm good. I have the King James book. I'm good. Okay, so.
Yeah, they're a whole that religion. What is it? Some John.
There
Smith?
are a bunch of idols as well.
What?
He doesn't like them either.
No,
I
a
mean,
lot of people don't. A lot of people don't.
No, I mean, if you're going to preach religion, okay, if you're going to do religion, don't go harassing people. You know what I'm saying? Let people.
Oh, you know who else goes door to door?
Oh,
Hold on a second. The Mormons do it too, but there's another one. There's another group that does it too, and they're nuts. As Jehovah's Witness.
oh, the Jehovah's Witness. Oh, they're crazy.
Do you remember?
Geez.
Oh my God.
Oh, you should see it though. The watchtowers though that they have.
Yeah, the watchtowers.
The watchtowers.
And the booklets and all
and
that.
the booklets that they have. I'm like, I look at these people. I'm like, oh boy. I mean, it's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stick to my King James. That's it. I'm gonna stick to my King James. That's it. I love my King
what I
James.
say when they start throwing these Bible verses and all that? I look them dead in the eye. This was a long time ago now, because I won't answer the door. But when I did open the door, they would start talking about Jehovah's Witness, all the little booklets and Jesus and the last days and da da da. And I look at them and I go, I know, because I went to a parochial school. I know about it. You don't have to tell me. Don't tell me again. I know what you're talking about. I don't need to join this religion because I've had it up to my eyeballs when I was younger. So I don't need to hear it. anymore. I don't need to hear it.
Well, Mormons are not actually true Christians at all.
No,
They're not.
I know.
You know,
No. Wasn't
well,
it
because
Trump?
I've looked at Annalisa. Look at this. I have a King James, right? A King James
Yeah,
Bible,
right.
and I took a Mormon's book one time. Okay, and I looked in the King James book. Okay, I try to find the
Yeah,
words that they're saying in a
in the
Mormon's
Bible,
book,
it's not
and
there.
and it's not even, it doesn't even exist in my
Right.
Bible at all.
No,
I'm like, it doesn't.
right. It's very different. I
Yeah,
read it. I read a little bit of it, and I'm like, what the heck are these people talking about?
it's like, yeah, I mean, they come knocking at your door. They, I mean, they're not really doing any harm. You know what I'm saying? But they come
No,
knocking at your door, and
no.
it's, yeah. See, look at, even he says these people claim that they're Mormons but aren't true Christians. Is because they do not believe in a, they, now what is that, Nicen,
The scene,
Nicene, yeah,
Nicene,
Christian.
Christianity. I never heard that
Christian.
before.
I never, yeah, I never. Oh, Jehovah. I've heard of that one. Trinity. I heard of that one. Christianity. I heard of that one. But this is, yeah, Trinity. All right, okay. Jehovah Witnesses. They also don't.
Christian
Oh,
Christianity.
yeah. That Jehovah Witnesses. They're not really. They're not really Christianity at all either. Even the Mormons. They're not. You know. So
Oh,
I
so
mean,
they don't believe in the Trinity. So that's the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
yeah, they don't believe in that.
Yeah, it's different. The Mormons definitely have something different, and I don't know where the Jehovah's Witnesses come from. They have Jehovah's Witnesses. Um, they have the elders. There's a bunch of them in Idaho. Oh my God.
Yeah, these people are crazy, man. I'm
Cults.
telling you.
Aren't these cults? These are like cults.
These people are cults, man. I'm
I
telling
think
you.
they're like cults.
Yeah.
What about
So
doesn't Mormonism believe who's the I think it's Mormons that believe in having more than one wife, right?
Mormons, I think so. Yeah, Mormons believe in having more wives. I think the Jewish does too.
No, they don't.
No.
Yeah, I heard about that, but the early intel was a leak, they said. They're trying to find the leak right now.
This is
They're trying to
offensive to
find
the
the
people.
person who leaked the information. They think it's internal and it was handed over to the media.
Ooh.
That's what that's about. Yeah. Yes. I did hear about that today because did you hear White House plans to limit intelligence? Yes. Yeah, I don't blame them. And you know what else I would do? I would not have the media in the Pentagon because I that's where Pete Hegseth is. Um, so I would like he today he did a press briefing with um, the guy whatever his title is. Um, and the media was there. I wouldn't have the media there. Like I wouldn't do it. I
Mhm.
wouldn't do it. I don't trust them. I don't trust the media.
I don't trust the media either.
No. So, especially when it comes to things like that, because they will leak it and they will screw it up. Like I don't trust the Democrats, especially, and then you've got the rhinos as well that would intentionally mess it up.
Here is this.
Remnant, remnant fellowship. Who the heck is that? Never heard of that either.
Here is a, like we have heard of. Look up. Look it up. She
Oh my
said, look
God,
it
I
up.
have a church in Nashville.
Yeah.
Stop it. Oh, they're asking if it's Mormon. Oh, that's Mormon.
Yeah.
Participants are Mormon dissidents and
Yeah.
supra-denominational Christians. Oh wow, I never heard of them. So that's another cult.
Yeah, we have cults around.
They're like everywhere. These people.
Okay, let me see. Let me see. Oh wait, yes, the LCC bunch of use of. Uh,
Do you think like do you what does this say? Yeah, the main LDC. Oh, they just it is polygamy. That's it. But they stopped pressing. Oh, they did in 1890. Yeah, I thought that. Don't they have? Didn't they have those shows on TV?
yeah, they did.
Sisters, something like it's called like Sisters, and they went.
Yeah,
Didn't they live in Utah?
I think so.
And they had this combine or something that they all lived together. He had like 10 wives or something like that, and all his kids.
Wow. You better have 10 jobs.
I don't understand. I think that that's bizarre. But way back in the Bible days, they did do that.
Mhm.
Way, 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 long, long,
10
long, long
wives.
time. They had
Matter
more
of
than one
fact,
wife.
I think who was it? What was the first king? I think it was King Henry. King
Oh
Henry
yeah,
had King Henry had 10
multiple.
wives. I think so. King
Well,
Henry
one
did.
at a time, wasn't it? One at a time. It wasn't all at once. It was a
Well, he
one at.
had 10. Well, one at a time, but he had 10 wives though.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about all at once. They marry more than one person all at once. Not that they divorced and then they get married to one person. No, they're married to multiple women.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, King Henry had. I think it was King Henry the first or second. I don't know which one it was, but
King Henry the
uh,
Eighth, I think it was.
yeah, King Henry the Eighth. Yes, it was King Henry the Eighth. He had 3 wives. I
Yeah,
think
but
three
not
wives.
all at once.
Well, I mean, he was married to
One at
different
a
ones.
time. He would get rid of one, get another, I'm talking about the
There we go, right
people
there. So look,
had six, not three,
he had
throughout
6.
his life. Yes, throughout his life, right. So,
Wow,
yeah.
that's a lot of child support. If he had any kids with that.
He's a king.
Oh, why
He
not?
didn't have to worry about that.
Well, the king was rich. So even if he
Right,
did had 20, 25, 30 kids, he had enough money to support them all. Even
right,
the wives that he was married to.
right. Yeah. I still think that the Mormons and the other, even the Amish have their little cult going as well.
The Amish?
Um, the Amish.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I think they're pretty. I think they're pretty cool. I think the Amish voted for President Trump.
Yeah, because the Democrats in Pennsylvania were raiding their farms.
Oh, the Democrats in Pennsylvania was
Yeah.
raiding the Amish's funds. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So they got involved in that election because of what they were doing to the Amish, what the Democrats were doing to the Amish.
claiming
But
that.
they have their own little thing going too, the Amish.
Yeah, of course they
And
did.
that's
I mean,
and if you leave the Amish and you go out in the world, they don't take you back in.
yeah, no. Once you leave the Amish now, they won't take you
Yeah.
back in.
No, you are out. They use a weight loss support group as a front. What? Claiming that all denominations are corrupt. Brainwashing. Brainwashing. That's called
Brainwashing.
brainwashing. Yeah.
That's what it's called. It's called brainwashing.
He annulled his marriages with two of them, had two of them executed. Yeah, right. One died after giving birth to his son, and his last wife outlived him when Henry died in 1547. Yeah, I remember. I know he had one executed. I didn't know he had two
Wow, he had 2
executed.
executed. Yeah,
And one died after giving birth. I didn't know that either. And he annulled his marriages with two of them. Wow.
he's pretty smart. Yeah,
I think didn't he break away from the Catholic Church and started the Protestant movement, or he brought England into Protestant and got rid of Catholicism in England. That is the main religion. I think is Protestant in England because of King Henry VIII. He split with the Catholic Church.
Yes, he did. He's pretty. He's actually pretty smart.
Well, because you couldn't divorce if you
No.
at that time. I don't think you still can. If you're in a Catholic church right now, if you divorce, some of them don't let you back into the church.
Considering displacing Catherine Pierre with the Catherine something. What was it?
Willoughby.
Wilby.
So I mean, I don't know. I just, there's going to be, I think, two really good races coming up in November: the
Yes, they are.
Boston mayoral race, and the New York City one.
Yeah, and well, we have some pretty good races coming up too over here in Massachusetts. So,
I just
but
said
we
that. I said Massachusetts, Boston with the
yeah.
mayoral race, and New York City with the mayoral race.
Well,
Uh,
I'm gonna name some. I'm gonna name some candidates. So we have Carlos Caesar running for mayor in Fall River, right? We have Boomer running for mayor of City of Fall River. We have Christopher. Nate. Uh, we have Nate running for city council here in Fall River. We also have. Uh, let's see, who else? We got Ricky Tiff. Is Ricky Tiff already in the city council already? So and he's running again. He's the newest city councilor. Then we have Michelle Dion. I believe is going to be running for city council. Still run for city. I believe. She wants to be reelected again. But my opinion on Mayor Paul Coogan, I think Mayor Paul Coogan's this is going to be his last term. So I think this is going to be his last term.
so there are two people running against Paul Coogan. That's it.
We have two Republicans. I'm not sure if there's. I don't know about the second one. Um, I don't know. I don't know if there's a there's the first one, second. I don't know if there's a third one. I have to look it up. But all I know is that so far as two Republicans are running against Mayor Paul Coogan, so for the mayoral seat. So um, yeah,
So
so
again, where's the Mass GOP supporting these Republican candidates?
yeah,
Are they in Fall River? Are they anywhere to be seen in Fall River?
that we don't even know. Don't even know.
So they're
I
not there. So they're not there.
no, so they're not. So, yep, I had Catherine was executed. Yes, he did. He made a Church of
Yeah,
England.
right. Teacher of England, not to be under
Yeah,
the Pope's orders. Yes, England wasn't truly Protestant until Elizabeth's first reign. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, Henry V was never a Protestant. Would have been,
Protestant.
yeah. What is it? Protestant.
Protestant.
Protestant. Yeah, he was Protestant.
No, we never said that Henry VIII was a Protestant. He broke away from the church, and when he broke away from the church, um, England started going the Protestant way.
Yeah,
It didn't happen right away because they were still under the Catholic Church.
yeah,
And the reason why this is what I read, the reason why King Henry VIII left the Catholic Church was because they did not allow divorce. And so he left.
yeah.
It's still difficult if you're a Catholic and you belong to a church. It's still difficult to get a divorce.
Yeah.
Some of them won't take you back if you've been
No.
divorced. They won't take you back. So
Well,
unless you get it annulled, and that's what Henry VIII did twice. He got it annulled, and that's
Yeah.
probably why he broke off with the Catholic Church.
In my church, okay, the Baptist church, in my church, before you get married, okay, in my church, before you get married, uh, they want to make sure that if your marriage is going to work out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's they have we have counseling, spiritual counseling there at the Baptist church. They want to make sure, okay, like go in there, talk to the spiritual counselors, like and sit down and iron out all your junk that so that way you're
Well, the
not
Catholic
carrying
Church
any.
does that too. The Catholic Church does it too.
Iron out all your junk because you don't want to bring your. I mean, if this person, if the guy that you're going to marry, he has baggage, and the woman that you're going to, spend the rest of your life with, okay, she has baggage, okay. You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? You don't. So that's why you got to iron out all your stuff first. You know what I'm saying? And before you get married,
Well, the
you
Catholic
want to
Church,
make sure you're right.
the Catholic Church does that too,
Yeah.
David. They do the
Yeah.
same thing.
Oh, I know the Catholic Church does it.
They do it too, but the difference is if the divorce part of it. That's the difference. That's
Well, they don't eat my church too. But once you get a divorce, if you get a divorce, you cannot marry anybody else. So I mean, it's you
the
can't marry.
Baptists are pretty strict, aren't they?
Yeah,
Like
we are pretty strict with that.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't marry. I don't know about Pentecostal. And plus, okay. Linda said, let me see. Well, you cannot even get a divorce as a Catholic.
Right. Oh, you can get a divorce, but it has to be annulled if you're going to marry again.
Okay, yeah. It has to be
Yeah.
annulled. See, but I would.
That's what Ted Kennedy did. Do you remember? Do you remember Ted Kennedy?
Yeah, I remember
his marriage annulled.
I remember Ted Kennedy. Yeah.
Yeah, Ted Kennedy was a Catholic. John F. Kennedy was the first Catholic president.
Yeah.
And Ted Kennedy got his marriage annulled from the first wife. What was her name? I think it was the first wife.
What was the first one? How many times he was married?
I don't know.
Interesting. Next Stone, this is live.
Joan Bennett Kennedy. He annulled his marriage with his first wife.
Yeah.
The annulment was granted after Ted claimed he had not been truthful during the wedding vows, specifically regarding his commitment to faithfulness. So he was a cheater.
Yeah, he was a cheater.
This declaration of nullity meant the Catholic Church considered the marriage invalid from the beginning. Wow.
There it is right there. Yeah.
There was 10 to 11 years it took. The divorce and the annulment. It took 10 to 11 years. Wow.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I remember I met him once, Ted Kennedy.
Yeah.
A long time ago. Sheila,
Yeah.
no, it's somebody else. It wasn't Sheila. I just read it. I don't think her name was Sheila. Let me see. Joan Bennett Kennedy was the first wife, if that's who you're talking about. Ted Kennedy's first wife was Joan Bennett Kennedy.
Joe Bennett Kennedy.
Joan Bennett, yeah. Joan. It was Joan. I remember her.
Yeah.
I remember all that going on. And I remember, well, I mean, I don't remember Chappaquiddick, but I do remember that scandal. Chappaquiddick because he was a drunk. When I met Biden was also the second Catholic to ever be. Oh, okay, yeah, Biden was a Catholic too. That's right because he his abortion stance was very controversial with the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, when I met Ted Kennedy, and this was a long time ago. It was in Boston, and I don't know. We crossed paths. There was a group of us from work, and we crossed paths with the Kennedys, and we didn't even know they were the Kennedys. And we went up to where they were having this little get together, and they were the Kennedys, and I'm like, what happened here?
Yeah, right.
So there's Ted Kennedy, and he had that acne, like that rosacea nose. You know that nose, like it's all red and puffy on the ends when you're an alcoholic? He had that nose.
Oh, when you're an alcoholic, you always get that nose.
He had that. He seemed very nice. I mean, but
Yeah.
I didn't stay very long, and it looked like the guys wanted to have some fun, and I'm like, yeah, see ya. Not into this. Adios. Good looking. The kids, the boys, the young men there, they were good looking. They were good.
Oh
looking.
yeah.
And the women that were there were very they looked very conservative.
Yeah.
They had long skirts on, colored stockings. They didn't look promiscuous at all. At all.
Hey,
They were all covered up.
did you know that the Pentecostal church, right? The
Yeah.
Pentecostal church, you have to wear a woman has to wear a long dress, okay?
Right, at church.
A man, Pentecostal, okay.
Yeah.
Woman has to wear a long dress, and a guy has to dress up in a suit, okay. You know, if you want to
Wow.
go to Pentecostal.
Yeah.
Well, because I used to go to Pentecostal, but I don't like their domination over there. I don't.
You don't like the
because
what?
I don't like their. I don't like what they. What you can't.
Denomination?
Domination. No, because you cannot wear earrings. Okay, for one. Okay, where the Baptist church, you can wear earrings, you can wear shorts, you can go in there in shorts.
Yeah,
We
it
don't
doesn't
care.
matter. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But the Pentecostal, okay, the Pentecostal, what they do is a woman has to wear a long dress, okay, and a man has to wear a suit, okay. So I mean, but the woman cannot wear earrings, okay.
In some churches, I think it's the Jewish one, but I'm not sure. They have to split. The men are on one side and the women are on the other.
I heard that.
I
They're
forget
Jewish.
which one it is. I don't know if it's the Amish that do. I'm not sure. I forget. But there's that too. There's that as well. And some women, like the Catholic Church, does not allow women to become priests.
No. A woman should not be. I'm going to say this, okay? Because over here we have a church over here, okay? We have a church on Harrison Street here, okay? And we have a woman pastor over here, okay? And when I heard
but
that,
that's not the Catholic Church. That can't be the Catholic Church because they don't
no, it's
allow
not a
it.
Catholic. No, that's not a Catholic church. It's
It has to be Protestant.
Has to be but I mean, why do we have to have a woman? Okay, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but why do we have to have a woman be? A woman shouldn't even be a pastor. Okay, that's a man's job. Okay, so I'm just saying.
You know something? There's a lot of women in politics right now, like in Congress and all that. And I really think they stink.
Yeah, I do too.
They stink. some of them are, pretty good, but for the most part, um, I'm not too thrilled about women being in that kind of a role. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to fit. Like it just doesn't. I think it should be a man. I think there should be more men
More men than women. Is that what?
running it. And the
Yes.
women, I think, should just stay behind and do something else.
Behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
most women, not all of them. Some of them are
yeah.
very good, I think. Some of them are very good. But
Well,
most,
we got women that climb poles. All right. Electric. Being
oh,
blind.
yeah. It's all changed now. Men are nurses, where
Yeah.
before it was just women, right?
Men are nurses. Women are doctors. Men are doctors.
Well, there's nothing
Uh,
wrong with that. I
and look
like
at
that.
hey, we
I
even
like a
we
woman that's a doctor, though.
yeah, but we even have uh, you know women driving trash trucks and emptying barrels. Believe it or not.
Well,
Oh yeah,
they're on construction sites too.
they're into construction. So hey,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think this is the age now for a woman to you're gonna see more women in doing men's stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah. They're police. They're in the police too. They're in the fire department.
yeah.
They're FBI. They're like everywhere. CIA. They're like I think
Mhm.
before it wasn't like that. I heard that the Philippines was very Christian, very Catholic,
The
very Catholic.
Philippines.
The
Yeah.
Philippines, very Catholic. Can't wear jewelry, can't wear makeup. Oh my gosh, can't cut or color hair. Women can't wear slacks. I'll pass. Too legalistic. It doesn't say, well, in the Bible, it doesn't really say
Yeah.
any of those things
Hmm.
that women can't wear these. Like, I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, um, let's get back to politics a little bit.
Yeah.
And just talk about what we were talking about Tim Walz. All right.
Yeah.
But if Tim Walz did this, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe he should, be
Well, they have to
punished.
look into it, like your friend said. But
We
what
have
I
to look
know,
into it.
well, well,
we can't assume. We got to look into this stuff because
well, we're
if
not assuming. That's just it. The Minnesota Star Tribune said that they had two people that saw this letter, and it was reported by the Minnesota Star Tribune. This is not speculation.
yeah,
Somebody saw it and they reported it, and they actually did admit that there was a letter. The police department did say that there was this letter,
yeah.
but they don't have any evidence that he did do that. Obviously, they have to check into it if that's the case. What was it that your friend said? There's sometimes they don't allow musical instruments. Yeah, yes. The country was named after King Philip. Oh, okay. Yep. The Catholic Church used to be that way. I don't think they
Yeah.
had instruments. There were
Well,
singing.
the Catholic Church doesn't have any more. I don't think they have any more instruments no more like they used to. Yes, I used to go to the Catholic Church. So until after all this corruption was going on over there, and some of that people
They're
don't
all
even talk.
corrupt. It's all corrupt. It's not just a
But you know what though? I think my opinion. I don't know. You might not agree with me with this, Annalisa, but my opinion is that I think religion should stay out of politics. You know what I'm saying? I think so. You know what I'm saying? And let the church, think for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then why is the politics involved in abortion?
Yeah, that is So that also should be not that
So
also should be out too.
they're actually right now, I think they want to try it on the national level and not have federal funding for Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
And I do, and I'm the same. It's like I don't want my tax money going to abortions. If these women, men, or whatever, they cannot be responsible for their actions, why is it that we, the taxpayer, have to take care of what they're doing and that woman ends up getting pregnant?
Well,
Pay for it yourself. Pay for it yourself.
yeah. Well, so again, there was a big, huge thing about that. Okay, because women being
Well,
assaulted.
if there's going to be a separation of church and state, then we should not have "In God We Trust" on the dollar bills. Our pledge of allegiance should not include God either. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a well. Okay. Well, then we shouldn't have a. We abortion shouldn't even be a.
But it's always entwined. It's always going to be entwined. That's why your friend said, "What difference does it make if it's a Muslim?" It makes a difference because it influences your decisions, your belief system,
It does.
whatever your belief is, whether it's you're Christian or Muslim or whatever, Hindu and
Jewish.
Buddha, that's all going to be influenced by your decision. How can it not be? How can it not be? It has to
Well,
be.
it has to be. Yep. It
Well,
has to be.
yeah, there should be separation of church and state, but guess what? In the schools, we have holidays, religious holidays that kids take off. A week for Christmas. Then you've got in Swampscott, they have the Jewish holidays that they take off. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. That's
Well,
religious. That's religion too.
Shoshana, yeah, that is religion.
Okay, and then during Christmas they get the whole week and then some off.
Hmm.
Isn't that also religious?
Yes, that's also religious too. Because
Yeah,
I remember during Christmas that I mean, I've gotten a week off. I gotten a week off from school. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And,
So
they're still doing it. They're still doing it.
yeah, they're still doing it until this day. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes even got Good Friday we had off. Now I
Good
think it's
Friday.
optional. So
Yeah.
that's religion mixed in with the state.
Hmm.
So if you want separation of church and state, all that has to go.
Yep.
All that has to go. So, and do you really want that? Do you want to have your money change and not have God in it?
Um.
What are you going to have? We believe in the state and not God?
We have to believe in God. All right, you got me there.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, yeah, that's what people want, and that's what it said. But I don't see how that's. I really don't think that's realistic.
I don't think so either. But we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. To it, more stuff to talk about. I don't
They
know.
do. You know what? They want the FBI to look into Tim Waltz.
Well, they want the
They
FBI
do.
to look. So if they want the FBI to look into Tim Walsh, so
They
let
they
it be.
want they want an investigation, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Well, you know what? They should look into it. You know what I'm saying? Because so now, what happens if this is true? You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
did have the state representative from Minnesota murdered. You know what I'm saying? So what happens if he did? You know what I'm saying? Then they should be looking into this, okay? Because it's a crime. It's a damn crime. You know what
How
I'm saying?
many crimes have these people, political people, have done and never gotten any sentence? How many times?
How many times?
Yeah,
How many?
he's harboring illegals in Minnesota.
Yeah,
He might have committed murder,
he
hired
might have.
hired hand. He might have done that. What is it going to take for the law enforcement to get some gumption and throw these people in prison? What is it going to take? Like, what is it going to take? What is it going to take for the FBI, the CIA, all these people, like even in the Trump administration, to arrest the people that are the elected officials that are harboring illegals? Like, what is it going to take? What is that going to take? How your mayor should be in jail because he's harboring illegals as well.
Well, Mayor Paul Coogan, of course he is.
Yeah.
We all know he's harboring legal aliens. We know that. I mean, Mayor Paul Coogan should be in jail too, as well. You know what I'm saying, because he is harboring illegal aliens. Okay, he is. Okay, he's so corrupt. You talk about Jesu Correa. He talked about Jesu Correa, how Jesu was corrupt. Okay, but we had no choice to vote for him. Okay, we did because nobody else would run against him. Okay, but he is. He is. He's working with me. For what I understand, he's working with Governor Moore Healey, and harboring illegal aliens. Okay.
Didn't your friend say that there was a busload of illegals that came into the city one day?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he said that. I don't even know where it is in the comments.
Well, see how they try to keep it secret because they don't want anybody to know. So they do it in the middle of the night so that nobody sees them come in. So nobody can say anything. Nobody can do anything. Nobody can stop them.
Yeah.
So it's all done in secret, just like Joe Biden did. He did the same thing.
He did it. Joe did everything in secret. You know what I'm saying? Like at nighttime, so that way the American people wouldn't even know what was going on until after. So I mean, it's
they never even knew. They never knew.
We didn't know.
What Biden was doing with our tax money and harboring these illegals on planes that we were paying for, and he was sending them all over the country. Whoever wanted them: Boston, Chicago, LA,
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Boston,
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, yeah, them too.
Even where I live.
They're everywhere in Massachusetts.
God, man, hey, if you come on Harrison Street, okay, which you've probably already been here, if you look on the same side of the street as where I live, I got a bunch of them that live over there. Okay. And they're just they're painting my knuckle sandwich.
Don't you think that I don't know where they're staying, but say they're renting out from a landlord, don't you think that he should be, or she, they, whatever, should get in trouble as well for harboring illegals? Don't you think that the police have a right to go into these places where they think these illegals are and put them away? But they don't do that. The police don't do that.
No.
They leave them alone. In the meantime, the taxpayer is paying their rent and everything else that goes with it.
Yep, of course.
So does anybody mention that to Paul Coogan in Fall River? Does anybody mention the illegals being housed in that city?
Nope, nobody mentions it at all. Nope.
And I don't understand why they don't. Like, why don't they? Because that's
because Mayor Paul Coogan is hiding. You know what I'm saying? He's harboring them too as well. Okay.
Yes, and my question is, why isn't anybody saying anything about it and questioning it? Why are people just letting it happen? Like, why is that? That's what I don't understand. I don't understand why people in Fall River that are complaining about the housing situation, the unaffordability, but they don't bring up the illegals
Well, you
where
know
the money
something.
is going.
I'm glad that you brought it up because yeah, good. So let's talk about this. Yeah. So, but that's a good question. So why ain't Mayor Paul Coogan bringing these? Why ain't he? Why ain't they mentioning this? That Mayor Paul Coogan's hiding illegal aliens. Okay, harboring all the illegal
They're
aliens.
not. He's not
Why?
hiding. He's not hiding them. They're in plain sight. You just said you know where they are. They're in
Oh
your
yeah.
street.
Well, they live right on the side of me.
So
Well,
how
not in the
come
same house.
people? Yeah. Well, how come people in your neighborhood don't go to Paul Coogan and go to a meeting and say, "Why is our tax money going to the illegals when
And you
we
know,
need it?"
well, you know what he's going to say? He's going to say, "Why don't you go and talk to Governor Moore Healy about it?"
It doesn't matter. They're in your city.
Yeah, well, he's yes, and this is the reason why we want him out. This is the reason why we want him out.
I said it on my live this morning,
I know you
and
did.
I'll
I
keep
heard you.
saying it
Keep
because
saying it.
the people in Massachusetts are way too quiet. They're just way too quiet, and they can't be, and they shouldn't be, and they need to speak up. They need to speak up.
Oh, oh.
Not that it's, oh yeah, the illegals are there. Oh well, that's got nothing to do with me. Who cares?
The
I don't
illegal
know. They're
aliens.
not bothering me. Who cares? But yeah, your tax money is going to them. These people complain about the city but don't vote. That's another problem. They're not voting. They do this every time for all mayoral city council elections. That's terrible. That's
That is,
terrible.
it's hard. He's right. I agree with him. They do it. I
So
agree.
you know what Einstein said about insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That's called insanity. This is called insanity.
I said this too. I said it. I said the same thing. Okay. You know, you vote the same people back in, right? So, what are they expecting? Different results? No, they're going to get the same results as they've been getting for the last few years. Okay.
You know what the problem is, and your friend said it too, and I'll say it too. It's the people that don't vote. It's not the people that vote. It's the people that don't vote. There are too many people that don't vote.
Yeah. We don't have that many people that we're in Massachusetts here. We don't have many people that do vote. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that don't vote, them are the ones that do a lot of complaining.
They shouldn't be complaining if they're not voting. They shouldn't be complaining.
They should just keep their mouth shut and say, "Hey, look, I don't vote, so why should I open my mouth and say something?" You know what I'm saying? You know, I vote, you vote. The majority of the people here in the city of Fall River vote. Okay, and the ones that vote should be complaining, not the ones that don't vote. The ones that don't vote, they should just like clam it up and say, "Hey, I don't vote. What do I care?" You know what I'm saying? So,
Well,
I mean,
that's the message. Who cares? My vote doesn't count. I'm not going to go out and vote. It doesn't matter. It
well,
does matter.
my vote counts. I'm not going to say
It
my vote
does.
don't
It
count. My
does
vote
matter
counts.
because look what's happening when you don't vote. And if you don't like the candidates, put your own name on the line.
That's right. I'm going to put my own. I'm going to do it. I'm putting my own name on the line for school committee. Then I'm going to do it for governor too.
Will anybody in this world ever find somebody that is going to fit everything that they want in a candidate? No,
Yep.
it's never going to happen. Never,
I'll put my own.
never.
I'll put my name. I'm going to put my name in. As soon as the election comes up, I'm going to put my name in for school committee. Okay. And then
I want to know from the non-voters, the ones that are registered to vote and don't vote, who are you looking for? Why aren't you happy with the current candidates that are in office right now? And if you're not happy with it, what is it that you're looking for? What are you looking for if they're not voting? Like if they're not voting, what are they looking for?
Yeah.
That's my question. You're never gonna find a perfect candidate. It doesn't exist.
Perfect candidates don't exist.
People that like President Trump or even love President Trump know that he's not perfect.
Hey,
He's
look at
not.
this. Even they said that even when they had that no king standout,
Yeah.
and even President Trump said that. He says, "Oh, he says I ain't no king." He says I have a hard time getting things passed.
Well, I mean, these people are so stupid because there's
And
no.
we and me as a Republican, okay, me as a Republican, right? I even know myself, okay, that that Trump ain't no king. Okay, I even know that myself, and you do too. The only person I recognize as the king is the Lord Jesus Christ. Okay, that's the only person that I recognize as my king.
Yeah, but these people that are, no kings, we've never had a king. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. What are they talking about?
They
We are a constitutional republic. The king does not exist. There's no way that any president can be a king. What the hell are they talking about? They don't even know what they're talking about.
they're
It's
crazy. What do you want?
it's spooky that these people are so ignorant.
These
They're
are these
ignorant.
these are ignorant people.
They are. They are ignorant.
Oh, you should have seen how Trump trolled the No King protest. Oh, he did on Truth Social. Yeah, he trolled them really bad. Oh my God, he did. He trolled them really bad.
Well, yeah, and I think they're going to do another one pretty soon.
They can do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. Okay, it's not going to make a difference. Okay, Trump is going to be in office. Okay, he's going to be in office, and you got Trump for the next 3 years.
3.5. Yep,
3.5 years. You got him for the next 3.5 years.
that's right.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense what they're trying to say. It doesn't make sense. No kings. It does not make sense. There are checks and balances. Exactly. That's why the president right. That's right. Those processes should be like that about Harris. Yes, she was picked with no votes. Exactly.
Well, Harris was. Well,
Right.
Harris. Well,
That was
he's right.
That
Harris was.
pretty bad. That was pretty
Harris.
bad.
Yeah.
No
Harris was picked.
votes. That's
Well,
bad.
Well, because Joe Biden put her in the had her had her take over as the president of the United States.
She what?
But Joe had her take over as the president. So
He did? What do you mean? What do you mean?
in other words, when he said when he knew that he messed up in one of the debates, he asked her.
No,
He
he
says,
did not. No, he didn't do that. He wanted
Okay.
to stay in. Somebody else, no, other people told him
"Well,
to
light me
step
up here."
aside.
Yeah. So,
Not him, not Joe Biden.
all right. So the Democrats told him to step aside.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the Democrats. That's right.
Yes.
The
But Joe
Democrats want-
Biden was very upset about that.
Yeah.
He didn't like that. He
Well-
didn't tell her to take his place. No, he was pushed aside. He was pushed aside.
Because Harris was up next to be the next president.
No.
Uh,
No, because Joe Biden did so badly on the debate that the Democrats knew that they didn't have a chance because he did so poorly, and they told him to step aside, but he didn't want to. and then they put and replaced Joe Biden with Kamala Harris
All
with
right, here
no
we go.
votes.
Wait a minute. Okay, there it is, right there. No. Biden dropped out because of a bad
Right,
debate performance.
right,
The Dems
yeah,
also kicked him out instead of
right,
any emergency primaries and
right.
the
Yes,
DNC rig. Yeah,
rigged the convention for Kamala Harris. Yes, that's exactly what happened. Yeah,
that's
but Joe
exactly what
Biden did
happened.
not do that. Joe Biden did not make the call on that.
Yeah. Well,
No, he
no,
didn't do
but
that.
somebody else was actually talking about that, but whatever. All
So
right. So
so So, like I said, Joe Biden was upset about that, and I think he still is, and I think Jill Biden is upset too. Now, I don't like what he did with the presidency, but I agree with them on that. That should not have happened.
no, that
That should
shouldn't
not
have.
have happened. He got the votes to be
Yeah,
the candidate, and I
yeah.
blame him for being upset. I think I would
Well,
be too.
yeah. Well, I
I
don't.
would be too.
I don't. But still, yeah, me too. I don't like what he did with the presidency, but he got the votes. Okay, he got the votes. I'm saying, and from the DNC, where Kamala Harris should have gotten the votes too from the DNC. You know what I'm saying? So what made
But
her
she
any?
did. She didn't
Yeah,
get any votes.
no, she
She
didn't get
didn't
in.
even get
Period.
one vote.
Yeah.
That's just like JD Vance getting no votes. Just imagine going to the Republican convention and JD Vance replaces President Trump and he gets no votes. It's the thing. It's like the same thing. President Trump would go insane if that ever happened,
Yeah, I'm
right?
sure he would.
He would go nuts. He would go nuts.
Look at Joe. Joe lost his mind. You know what I'm saying, because Joe Biden lost his mind. Even though I don't like what he did, okay, with the presidency, but that should have never happened. You know what I'm
I,
saying? So
I think that has got to be. I think that has got to be Joe Biden's presidency has got to be the worst administration
in the
as
world,
far as I've been following politics. I have
yeah,
never, ever, ever
I never ever seen that
seen
too.
a president with wide open borders, letting anybody in, criminals and everything else.
Oh God,
I've
murderers,
never
the
seen
MS-13s.
anything like that. Even Obama didn't even do that. Clinton didn't even do that.
No, Clinton didn't even
What
do that.
the
No,
hell? What
Obama didn't
was
even do that.
no, none of them did it. None
No,
of the Democrat presidents did
ever.
what
Even
Biden did.
I think George, who was it? George W. Bush. I don't even think he even did that.
Nobody did it. No one.
This was the
No one.
worst. Wow, this was the worst one in history.
I've
Wow.
never seen anything. I don't
Ah,
from George Washington all the way up to now, who the heck, what president of the United States would ever open up the border and let anybody 10 to 20 million unvetted criminals, because they cross the border, criminals
yeah.
into the country? Like, who does that? Who the hell? What country? Name me another country in this world that has had open borders like this country had and let in 10 to 20 million illegals. Name me one country that's done that.
I can't.
Can anybody tell me what other country did what Joe Biden did with the open border policy and being unvetted? I'd like to know who else did that, because I don't know of anybody. I don't know of
I
any
don't know of anybody either. Anybody know if any countries had open borders? Does anybody know? I mean, this is the first in history with Joe Biden, though. I mean, this is the first in history that I've seen open borders. I've never seen open borders in my whole entire life. That was the first time I ever saw that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I know Bill Clinton and Barack Obama never had open borders like this. So this is the first I ever saw. You know what I'm saying? And of all the times for the last 20, 30 years that I've been in politics, you know what I'm saying? And at least
So the European, if you're part of the European Union, you can travel between those European countries.
yeah.
So it's open in that sense, but that's not what I'm talking about. Those people have an ID. They have legally been in those countries. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actually having borders, open borders like Biden did, and letting anybody in unvetted. That's what I'm asking. What other country did that?
I don't know.
I don't know of any. I don't know. No country would do that. Why
So
the
anybody,
hell would Biden do something like that? Why?
anybody out there and on the live stream know of any countries that will do something like that? I mean, if you guys know, please tell us so that way we make us understand.
Unvetted, undocumented, nothing legal about them. I'd like to know what other
Unvetted and undocumented.
I'd like to know what other country did what Joe Biden did the past when he was in office. I would love to know what other country did that because I don't know of anybody. And the people that voted for Joe Biden, do you think that the open borders was done intentionally?
Okay, he says Reagan allowed it. The illegals who was in
No,
there
I'm
putting
talking
that in.
about illegals. I'm not talking about what you think a president has to do. I'm talking about allowing unvetted, undocumented illegals into the country like Biden did. That's not the same thing.
No,
What Reagan did is not what Biden did. No president has done what Biden has done concerning the open border policy and letting any 10 to 20 million unvetted, undocumented illegals into this country. Andrew Johnson, James Buchanan, he let in out. You're diverting the subject, and you know it, James, that Biden is the only president that did this, and he was a Democrat, and he was trying to ruin this country. That's what that was all about. Don't deny it. Don't deny it. The other presidents that you don't like did not have an open border policy and let anybody come in unvetted. It probably didn't even exist back then because there were so many wars fighting for this land here. So, no, I don't know. Again, I'm not talking about American presidents and if you don't like them, the whatever. I'm talking about any other country in this world that did what Joe Biden did to their country, allowing unvetted, undocumented illegals into theirs. Because I don't know of any.
that's what she's talking about.
That's and they know there's no one. They know there's nobody. And even President Trump said that he didn't think it was Joe Biden that was doing that. Somebody else was doing that. Somebody else was telling him to do that. Trying to ruin the country. That was the bottom line. And I would not be surprised if it was Obama. I don't know who else it could be. Who else could it be
I can't think of
that
anybody
would
else.
do something like that? Because in his second term as the president, Obama let in the Muslims, let in the terrorists. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
You remember the shooting that happened in Florida in the gay bar?
I remember that.
Yeah, that was Obama allowing those people to come into the country. It was him. And the LGBTQ crap, that was him too, because he's gay. He's Gay. Obama is gay. And
Oh, is he?
Michelle was Michael, and she's a trans.
Oh,
She's a trans. Has
I didn't know.
anybody ever seen pictures of so-called Michelle Obama pregnant?
I never saw any pictures.
No, no, no. There aren't any. There aren't any. She's not a woman.
Yeah.
She's not a woman.
Well,
They
I
could,
mean, there was pictures. There was actually pictures of her uh, other stuff hanging out or something. You know what I'm saying, I don't know what
yeah,
it
and
was.
the two kids that they have, they used a surrogate mother for that. And they know who the couple is that created these children, because Michelle is not a woman. Maybe Canada, but I agree there isn't any other country that right. No, Canada didn't do that. No,
No.
no way. They went across illegally as well. They were crossing Canada, but I don't
Hey,
think they had an open border policy. Let me see. I can't find it. I can't find it that it says Canada was an open border policy, had that open border policy.
Canada with their open border policies. Let's see. Yeah.
No, it said no. Canada has never had a completely open border policy. There are none. There are no countries that did what Biden did to this country. He was a president. He was a Catholic president, and he served as a VP. He was in the Senate, I believe. He was born in this country, and what he did to this country was, I would say, close to ruining it if President Trump didn't get elected. This country would be gone. If Kamala Harris was in power right now, this country would be gone.
This country be,
Gone.
oh,
It's
yeah.
gone. It's gone because more illegals would have come in and more money would have gone to the illegals, like in Massachusetts. Yeah, but they don't have an open border policy. I don't think
It
so.
says, it says,
They might have crossed over, but that doesn't mean that they were allowed to stay. You don't know that. No, you don't know that. Nope, we don't know that.
I mean,
No, I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Highly, highly. Canada is not like that. When you drive into Canada, if you ever go visit Canada and you go to their immigration
yeah,
area where they stop the cars, let me tell you, they are tough.
yes, they are.
They want to know if they check everything. There's no way that they would allow unvetted, illegal people in the country. No, I totally don't agree with that. No. Uh-uh. Nope.
I'm here still.
Yeah, I'm just reading Canada's policy. So I just want to say, I think his name is James. No, they do not have an open border policy like Biden had in this country,
Yeah.
allowing anybody to come in with no restrictions. No, it never happened. Never happened under any presidency in this country. And I don't understand why he allowed that to happen, other than he probably did it intentionally. That's the only thing I can think of. So, and you're still paying the price for it. And you're going to be probably paying the price for a while
Yep.
with what happened because, with President Trump and ICE trying to get these people, are they going to get all of them? Probably not. Hopefully,
Probably not.
most of them. So a lot of them self-deported. A lot of them have been arrested. But there's still a lot more to go. There's still a lot more to go. And that meat plant in Nebraska, where they had the raid, practically all of them were illegals. And the next day, they had the Americans that probably live in the area go and apply for the jobs.
Yep.
Okay, so that means that the owner of that plant is now going to have to give them a paycheck and pay taxes, whereas with the illegals, he just had to pay them under the table at
Yeah.
a lower wage, which makes the American worker not have a job.
That is true. Yeah.
That's what they're doing. That's what's happening. And that's not right. An
No,
illegal,
it's not. It's not right. It's not. That's not right. It's not
undocumented takes an American's job? Come on.
undocumented. Yeah. Undocumented. Yeah. Undocumented.
Come on.
Illegal aliens take Americans' jobs. Yeah.
And then these stupid people that protest against President Trump, they really are dumb.
Yeah. They're not too bright.
No, there's something wrong with people that are complaining about what President Trump is doing to this country, trying to straighten it out, the mess that Biden created, and they don't like it. There's something wrong with these people.
I mean, come on. I mean, yeah. President Trump is trying to straighten out this whole entire country. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Biden had done what he was supposed to do, we wouldn't have to be spending our resources and money and trying to get these people out because some of them are violent criminals. I mean, how many
Yeah.
people have
Very
they
violent.
killed? How
Look
many
at-
American citizens have they killed?
Well,
These people
look at
that were
the
letting.
the MS-13s.
Yeah, them too. All that mess. And then they have to go through a trial that we have to pay for? No. Get them out.
Look how many was caught in Boston.
Look at that Ortega guy that was in El Salvador. They brought him back all on our dime.
Yeah.
And now he's like in Tennessee awaiting a trial. And now when he gets back out, they're not even going to send him back to El Salvador. They're going to send him to a third world country. That's why a lot of business right, so that they don't right. That's right. So they have to pay taxes. Exactly.
He's got a point.
That is why, but that's not right. It doesn't make it right. And the owners of the businesses that do things like that should get punished as well. They should face consequences as well and be fined for hiring undocumented illegal aliens over the American citizen that needs a job.
That's what the government does. Like the state representatives, Governor Moore Healy, Alan Sylvia. Yeah, that's what they do.
And it's all to the detriment of the taxpayer. All to the detriment of the taxpayer.
Yeah, exactly. Screwing over the American people who are desperately trying to get a job.
It's not
It
right.
is not right. No, it's
Nope.
not right. No,
It's
he's
not
correct
right.
on that one. It's
not
not right.
right
I'm
at
saying
all.
the American people should come first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before undocumented illegal aliens. Okay, they should be. So
They should be. There's plenty of immigrants. My parents were immigrants. I'm an immigrant as well. But my father came into this country legally. I came into this country legally. So did my mother. So did all his immediate family, brothers and sisters, mother, father. So I know I'm an immigrant too. Okay,
Oh,
I'm
you
an
are
immigrant. I was born
right.
in another country. I wasn't born here, but I did grow up here. Like I've been here since I was one. Okay,
Very
so
cool.
they being legal is very different. You have your papers, you are here legally,
Oh,
you can work and you can stay. It's not the same thing. You are vetted, you are asked questions, you have to pass a physical. This is what happens. You have to have a sponsor as well before you come into this
hey,
country because
hey, speaking of that, people do get sponsored. Believe it
they
or not.
have to. That's part of coming in here legally.
Got to get sponsored. I ain't got to sponsor
You have to
anybody.
be sponsored because if something goes wrong, then the authorities are going to know who to go to. But when you come here illegally unvetted and undocumented and they have a crime, they don't know where to go. They
No, they
have to go
don't.
find them. They have to go fish them. They're fugitives and they have to go find them because they're undocumented. Because they're undocumented.
Hey, yeah. What about that catch and release stuff? You know what I'm saying? The catch and release. Remember
That's
that?
terrible. Yes. Yes.
That catch and
And
release. Oh, let's
it
catch them and release them. And then when they
right.
take off back in their state, now we have to send the marshals or the FBI after
Right.
them to bring them to justice.
Right. You know, the money that we spent on Ortega, every Dem used to be anti-illegal pro. Yeah. Yes, I saw them. Yep, the flip flop is amazing. Yep, even my nana was sponsored. Yes. Yes, of course. Of course. Because the illegals would continue to be running. They're fugitives. If you're an illegal, you're running away from the law because you broke the law and they know it. And they know it. They know
Yeah.
it.
So here we are spending billions of dollars because of a catch and release, and here we are spending billions of dollars on catch and release because they don't. They're going to show up back in court, and they never do show up in court. You know what I'm saying?
Well, of course
And
not, because they're going to get deported. They're not going to show up.
so no, and they just take off, and they hide out for months and months and years
That's
before
right.
before they even get caught.
Right.
And once we catch them, then we have to extradite them back, and then it costs the taxpayers money.
Right.
So that's why we don't want these people here.
Right.
We want these people out of here, so that way we don't have to deal with it. So that our taxpayers' money does not have to be spent anymore.
Right. That's right.
Well said, Dave.
Enough of this money going to the illegals, bringing this Ortega guy back from El Salvador, back to now Tennessee, spending money on a trial for that.
Yeah.
And then when he's going to be let go, ICE is going to be waiting for him again to arrest him again and to deport him again twice. Our money going to this jerk. Mass spends $5 billion alone well, even in five-star hotels. Yes, I know. But it's not just the shelter. They're not just sheltering them. It's not $5 billion just going to shelter, putting a room or a roof over their head. It includes everything. It includes everything. It includes the food. It includes transportation. Meaning that if they have to take an Uber or a Lyft, the taxpayer is paying for that. They get laundry services as well. Okay, which the taxpayers, that's what the $5 billion goes to. It's not just the room. The clothes,
the shower.
Everything. They get cash too, so that they can spend. This is all included. It's not just housing. It's not just a roof over their head.
Hey, you want to hear a joke, Annalisa? You want to hear a joke? That's why I'm learning German. So that way I can go and jump the border and come back so I can get free stuff too.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to come back. It's closed.
I know that.
Don't jump the border because you're not coming back in.
Hey, I want food stamps too.
Don't forget that you got a new sheriff in town and President Trump is not going to allow it.
No,
That
I know.
if you're
I know.
lucky enough to go to Massachusetts, that's a different story.
I was born. I was born and raised here. I mean, I probably would have done it if it was the Biden administration. Who said, just jump over I'll jump over the wall, then jump back over the wall. I'll say, hey, I heard you getting free stuff.
You better not speak English. Don't speak English.
I'll say, I don't speak English. No.
You know what they would do? They would give you a cell phone, and your James there. I don't know if he knows this, but that includes they give them a phone, they give them a computer. They have everything more than probably you do. Okay, and this is all on the taxpayer dime. But you know what they would do? They had lawyers waiting for these people to come across. And they would tell them which states to go to. And do you know which one they mentioned the most? Is Massachusetts because of the right to shelter law that they had there. Yeah. Do you see how they know everything? This was all planned out. They were ready for this. This was intentional. And this was to bring the country down. That's what I think.
Do not tell me
that
they
won't do.
Right. The jobs of
America. But the illegals do it for sub minimum wages, and they do it under the table. So they pay them cash, and that means that the business owner doesn't have to pay taxes. He doesn't have to report it.
No, he doesn't, because he's paying them. Hey, that happened in Boston. You remember?
Sure.
That happened in Boston because. I think one of the restaurants in Boston got in trouble for that.
Yeah,
paying the illegal alien under the table, okay, right. and not paying taxes. He got caught for that, and I think he got busted for that. I think he's paying major fines because of it.
Good. And that needs to happen more often than not, and send the message to the businesses.
Oh, he's laughing.
That's so embarrassing, right?
I know, James.
You know what they used to do, right? You know what the Biden administration used to do when they would come over, when they would cross the border, they would have a phone waiting for them, a cell phone. And they would have an app on that phone and tell them what to do next and where to go and everything else. They actually had an app to tell them where to go to get money, to get shelter, to get everything that they needed. Isn't that insane? Yeah. They gave them a phone. They gave them a smartphone.
So if I jump the border, right? So if I jump the wall under the Biden administration, and if I jump back over, I'm just going to sit there, and they're going to ask me questions. No speak English. No speak English.
So I get
a I'll just hand up my hand and go,
And then they'll give you a smartphone. They'll set you up for the night.
God, I'll get a computer,
stay there as long
everything.
as you want. You can have all the free meals you want. You'll have laundry service. You don't have to worry about a thing.
Oh, I'll have a butler. I'll have butlers. Why not?
Right. You'll be treated like a king.
Oh, why not, man? Hey, I won't have to work. I won't have to do it. I'll just sit back and let my butlers work for me.
Did you see the video? I was watching this video that this kid did. He went to Marlborough, Mass, and there's a shelter there, or an inn, or a hotel, motel, whatever it is, that is housing illegals. They're all illegals in there. So it's closed for business because all the illegals are there right now. This is right now. This is not last year. This is now it's happening. Okay.
Yeah.
On that parking lot, when he was panning the camera, there were like practically all new cars in that lot
Yeah.
because the illegals were working under the table. And they would go back to the shelter where everything was paid for by the taxpayer, and they would buy brand new cars. Somebody, one of them had a Mercedes SUV.
Yeah.
A Mercedes SUV that an illegal can afford in this country because the taxpayer is paying. They have no expenses. They have no expenses. And at a veterans administration or building where they supposedly house veterans, they have illegals in there too.
Okay. I'm gonna say, I gotta announce this, for this. Um, on Saturday, annual cookout on June 28th, 2025. Menu is a hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, corn, ice cream, soda, water. June 28th, fun fact. Okay. It's at the Church of Holy Spirit at 160 Rock Street, Fall River, Mass. Enter the Purchase Street side. Starts at 9, ends at 11:45 a.m. That's a soup kitchen that I always announce because I help out and at least I help out this woman. She makes flyers and
Is this, do they
first,
do this every week or once a year?
they do this every week.
Yeah, okay.
Now they do it every week. So and that's why
Look,
I have
and I'll
announce it.
keep saying it. You have to have jobs, period. You've
Yeah.
got to have jobs. You have to have the economy grow in like a city like Fall River so that people will be able to work and not have to rely on the church or the government to give them what they need. You have to have jobs. That's it. That's all.
That's it's for the homeless. Let's see here. Yeah, I always every once it's we even do it on Thanksgiving, and I believe Christmas we do this, and even in the summertime.
To get people out of poverty, and it's not just the homeless because they might have other issues, but people
Uh,
that can't make ends meet and they have to go to a place like that. They need, at least this is my opinion, they need work. They need to be working
yeah,
so that they can have some money and get off of government assistance and be on their own and have some kind of respect and dignity for themselves.
okay, all right. Well, I agree with that. I don't know because what about the ones that are disabled, the ones that are in wheelchairs and
But
stuff?
that's different. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people that can work. I'm talking about people that can physically work, that are fine and healthy and mentally and physically. I'm not talking about those people. So don't, that's not a reason that people shouldn't have jobs.
Well, I mean,
Disabled people work too, David. Disabled people work too, whether they're in a wheelchair. I've seen them work. Okay, that is not an excuse. Maybe some are worse than others and they need assistance. That's different. I'm talking to one about the
No,
ones.
that's what I'm trying to say. Because I mean,
Yeah, but
this
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that need help and they have to go to a church for a meal, maybe once in a while, and have to have government assistance, but is able to work but can't find a job. Always illegals first and veterans last. So sad to see. Wouldn't be surprised if all the money going to these illegals can house our. Yes, that's what's happening. Our homeless. Yes, that's what
yeah.
pains me to see. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a big
It's it's
problem.
it's I know it's a problem. It's a big
It's a
problem here.
problem.
It's a problem here.
Absolutely.
We have a problem here with homeless people here. You know what I'm saying? We have we have a problem here.
It's not just homeless people. It's not just homeless people that are out in the streets. There are a lot of other people that are on
Homeless
government assistance
homeless veterans.
also. But
Yeah.
there are also people that might have a job but just can't make ends meet because they don't make enough.
Well, they need to get up and get a job. They need to. I tell people this all the time. Hey, look, I'm out there. I
But
push
where,
car.
yeah,
I
but
push.
where are the jobs, David, in
Where's the
Fall
job
River?
there?
Like, where are they? Where
Okay,
are
so
they?
you got Taco Bell's hiring. Okay,
Uh-huh.
you got Taco Bell's hiring. You got Raising Cane's hiring. Matter of fact, Market Basket's hiring again. And then you have um, Aldi's is hiring.
You know
Uh,
what you should this is what I think this is what you should do. Obviously you can do what you want. You should make a list of the companies that are hiring in Fall River and post it or put it on this live or whatever, so you let, maybe people don't know that there are job openings. Maybe
I
they don't
post them
know.
all the time.
I don't know.
I post them all the time. Every time I see it, I post it. Matter of fact, Serta is hiring. SRTA is hiring drivers. They're looking for drivers. Anybody out there is looking for drivers, and want to drive, Serta is hiring. Good benefits. Get in touch with Serta. Go and get the application, or you can go online and apply for the application.
Yeah, but you can't just post it once and expect everybody, people are going to see it. You have to say it multiple times. It has to be something weekly or 3 times a week or twice a week or something like that. Because not
Well,
everybody's going to see it. Because not
well,
everybody's going to see it.
Well, I mean, but not everybody's got Facebook, and everybody's got a live video like I do.
Yeah, but that,
But
why? Look, listen, look,
you know what
David.
you know what I can do though.
Yeah.
Hear me out for a second. You know what I could do? I could go on a live stream, maybe extra once a week, and talk about these jobs that are open.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying.
I
That's what I'm
I could do
saying.
that. I could do
You
that.
can, you
I took the words right out of your mouth.
Yeah, and so you can, you have, it has to be repeated so that people will know that, hey, David Mead is, said this is hiring. They might not even know. Who knows? Who knows?
Well,
But
I
there
just said
could
a few.
be people that don't want the job, but I'm sure there are people that want a job. Maybe they need another part-time job to help it make ends meet, you know? Until
Well,
good paying jobs come into the city, like the manufacturing jobs, that's what needs to happen. I
manufacturing
don't
job.
I don't know what's the minimum wage. Does McDonald's and those fast food
15,
restaurants pay minimum
15,
wage?
$15 an hour.
All right. So I mean, I don't know if that's enough in Massachusetts, $15
Well,
an
hey,
hour.
$15 an hour, and they can go to Stop and Shop too, and go online to Stop and Shop and fill out an application there. We're always looking for somebody in produce, front end, deli. We're always looking. You know what I'm saying?
So that's
stop it.
100. That's 120. 8 hour shift is about $120 a day for $15 an hour.
You work you work 3 days a week. So
Right.
we work, you
So
work 3 days a
if
week. You
you
work five. Say you work 3 days a week, and you work you work at 9 to 2. So that's 5 hours right there.
well, if you're full time, you will get $600 a week.
If you're full
Monday
time.
through Friday, 8 hours a day, $15 an hour. That's $600 a week.
If you're full time.
Times 4 is $2,400 a month.
And
And
Stop and
and that
Shop. Go ahead.
yeah, and that's $28,800 for the year. It's a little
Correct.
under 30,000.
And plus, Stop and Shop. If you want to go to school to be a manager or something, they will. They Stop and Shop will, send you to school if you want to go to school. If, like, say, if you're full time, okay, Stop and
Yeah.
Shop will also house you, okay. If you want to go, if you're full time in one store and and you have to go to the Cape, if Stop and Shop will house you to work in the Cape throughout the summer.
You mean
But
to,
you
to,
have
to
to,
get trained? You mean to get
yeah,
trained? To get
yeah.
trained.
Stop and
Well,
Shop
yeah,
will
of
house
course
you.
they would. Well, of course they
Yeah.
would, because you work for them, so they're
I'm
training
union.
you.
Well, I'm union, so I'm union. So we're union people. So
Well, they have benefits, I'm sure, that they
they
have
have
health insurance.
they got a health benefits. They have a health benefit packages. I mean, they can go and check on all these stuff. You know what I'm saying? They can
Right.
call, inquire, and check up on it. Stop and Shop's got some pretty good benefits packages.
Well, that's a
believe it or not.
big company. They should have some good benefits. They should.
Yeah.
That's a big company.
Stop and Shop is pretty good at and let me tell you something. And being a manager over there, well, I mean, we are also looking for managers too. You know what I'm saying? So we need managers too as well.
You should definitely, absolutely be announcing this more often than not, so that people might get inspired in Fall River if they're just borderline. If the median income, like what is it, CJ? Is it CJ that
CJ
said
Perry.
the median income in Fall River was about 30,000, 30, 32,
I think
something like that?
about 32,000.
All right. So I don't think somebody, if they're working full time, I don't think they could have another full time job, because that would pull in another 30,000. So that's about $60,000 a year. Those
Oh, okay. All right.
those seasonal
James
homes.
James says that the Cape Cod jobs that Stop and Shop is promoting for its work for seasonal only.
Well, that's Cape Cod, because Cape Cod has a lot of tourists in the summer.
Yeah.
They're probably very busy in the summer.
So they're promoting for just in the summer, and they will. I mean, if they want to work, even seasonal jobs. If they
Right.
want to work
That's
a seasonal job, hey, you work a seasonal job, you get a decent paycheck. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's right. Especially for 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds that have to go back to school. They might not want to work during the school year. They can do
Some
something
might.
seasonal. I remember, when I was in high school, how kids were like, I want to have a job in the summertime. I'm going to go here and I'm going to do this. I'm looking for a job. Kids my age at that time were always looking for a job. They wanted to work. They wanted to work.
Yeah.
And they were always looking at retail stores, at the grocery stores, wherever. They didn't even care where it was, as long as they were getting something. It was never $15 an hour back then. It was much less. But they were still very happy about it.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, Raising Cane's, McDonald's, Market Basket, Stop and Shop. I mean,
Those,
Mendy's is also hiring too.
David, those jobs are not the ideal job where people might say,
Well, hey, it's a
I
start.
can't wait to go work at McDonald's and Raising Cane's and all that. Okay. Like, if people have ambitions, that is not a place they would want to go.
Yeah, well,
But
hey, a job is a job. I don't like
but
working.
right,
Hey,
but if that's what Fall River has and you live there, and there
that's a
are
Fall
no
River.
manufacturing jobs that pay well, I don't know what else. Either you go back to school and learn a trade,
Even
and you can make more money that way.
even learning a trade. Okay, I know people. I know people that are in college. Okay, I know
Yeah,
people that are in college. Okay, people
yeah,
want to become lawyers, doctors,
right.
judges. Okay, surgeons. They want to. These kids got
Yeah, but
these people
not
that
many people can do
and
that.
you know something. These are the people that want all this, but they work very hard for it, and they cannot even get a job in that field because we don't have the jobs over here, and we don't have that many. We don't have jobs like that no more over here. Okay, first off, all of our manufacturings went overseas. Okay, all of our good jobs went overseas, but the only thing we have right here is like McDonald's, Raising Cane's. Hey, it's a job. You know what I'm saying? It's a start off. Hey,
Right,
it's a
right.
start-off job. You want to
That's
make $15 an hour? It's a start-off job. You want to push carriages? I push carriages. I'm 58 years old. I push
right,
carriages. I'm
right.
almost 60.
Yep,
Okay. I
yep.
push carriages. I've been doing it for 4 years. Okay. Rain, snow, or shine. Even in a hurricane, I've been a tornado. I've been pushing carriages. Okay. And you know something? I don't complain because you know
Right,
something? Because a job is a job. Okay.
right.
You're getting paid. You're getting
Hmm.
you're getting a paycheck. Okay.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, you're getting a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? It's
Well, but
something.
it's
That's just a
nice
start.
to go, to have something to do and to have some kind of purpose, and you get to meet people. You're out there, you're making some money. I don't know what else is there to like. What else is there? You know what
I
I'm saying?
mean,
Like, what are you? What look? I mean, and I
oh,
said it before.
how many
$15. What?
how many times I've been posting this? Okay, I posted Dunkin' Donuts on Robinson Street. They're hiring.
Yep.
Dunkin'
Yep.
Donuts on Pleasant Street. They're hiring.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
all the Dunkin' Donuts too are hiring. They pay $15 an hour.
Right.
Okay. Hey, you'll be lucky to
If
get
you
3 days of work over there. Or if it's busy, you
you're
may
gonna
get some overtime.
you have to start on the bottom. Period. You have to start
You got to
always.
start on the bottom. I started on the bottom, and look, I worked my way to the top. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And then if you do a good job and you stay there a little longer, you're going to get a pay raise and you'll be making more money. And you can get promoted, and with these big companies like Dunkin' Donuts and Stop and Shop and all these, and Raising Cane's, that's another big company. That's a national one because they're on down south too. So these are big companies that you can go work for. And if you're ambitious and want to have more money, well, and you don't want to start out like that, then you have to go back to school. You have to go back to school.
Well, yeah, but
That's it.
even look, even going back to school, okay. You know, like I told you before, even going back to school, okay. A couple of friends of mine, they're in college, okay. They're in college and they want to be lawyers. They want to be judges. They want to be police
But I'm
officers.
not talking about that, David. I'm not talking about that to go back. You don't have to go to school to become a lawyer and a judge and a doctor and a surgeon.
Well, I mean, you need
You
a
can
law
be,
degree.
no. You can go to a 2-year community college and you can get a certificate and an associate's degree. You don't have to do 4 years. You can take a paralegal course. They have so many courses that you can do, veterinarian assistant, nurse's assistant, and all that. You can do that, and you will probably find a job as a nurse's assistant because of the hospitals and stuff like that. So that they're always looking for people. That is a skill that you can take anywhere. Teaching is the same thing. So you don't have to go to school to become a lawyer and a doctor and a judge. Not many people can do that. I mean, there's people that work in Alaska in the sun. Right. That's right.
Yeah. Decent
Actually,
jobs.
actually, James, I remember I saw a segment where people actually in the States go to Alaska for those jobs because they know that there are openings. They actually go there to work in Alaska. They're there. The jobs are there. Okay. And like I said, if nobody wants to do the $15 an hour job
Well,
at
hey,
McDonald's or whatever, then you're going to have to find another route and stop mooching off the government and the taxpayer to
hey,
give
that's
you what you need to live. Go figure out what do you need to do. Go learn a trade, go to a 2-year school, get a certificate. That's like 6 months to a year. I mean, Google even has programs that if you like computers, even Google has a school that you can attend online. And some of them are even free. There's a lot out there. There's a lot. You can do a lot of work online
hey,
as
hey,
well.
look at this. I'm looking for I'm looking for just a certificate in human services, okay? Because that's what I'm looking for right now, okay? But I have people helping me with that. You know what I'm saying? Because
A what
human
certificate?
human services, yeah, just a non-cost class, but just get a human resource certificate. You know what I'm saying? Just a certificate. That's all.
Yeah, and that depending what you want to do, I don't know whatever. But I'm saying the options are out there. There are a lot of things you can do if you want to. There are opportunities now. Now that we have President Trump in office, these opportunities are going to get more and more
They
expansive.
exist.
Yeah,
They
they're gonna start coming back before like the Biden administration came in and practically ruined everything. So hopefully the manufacturing companies will come back. Those good paying manufacturing jobs will hopefully go to Fall River as well. Even
oh
if you
well,
have one. What about if you had like a subsidiary of Apple that makes these cell phones and has a factory and a manufacturing plant in Fall River? You don't
hey,
think people are going to go and they're going to apply to that?
oh, Gold Medal Bakery is hiring too. You can work about 50, 60, 70 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? They got shifts open. Gold Medal Bakery, and they pay a hell of a lot more. Blount Seafood is hiring. The Ice House down on North Main Street is hiring.
There's a lot. There's a lot. There are a lot. There are a lot of openings. That's good.
They got to. They have to. They got to. They got to get up there. They got to want to get up there and apply for these jobs. Okay, I
Right.
could sit. I could sit on my computer all day long and say, "Hey, the Ice House is hiring. Hey, Blount Seafood is hiring. Hey, Stop and Shop is hiring. Hey, Raising Cane's is hiring. McDonald's, all these, um,
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts, uh, Market Basket. Okay, I could sit here all day to say this. Okay, but they have to get up and they have to. These people have to be willing to get out there and go and get these jobs. Why are they available? Okay, I can do that all day long.
But yeah,
You know
and you know
something?
what? Fall River, making 30,000 is practically poverty level in Massachusetts. That's like poverty level
Yeah,
in that state.
it's a
You
tough job.
cannot live on that. That's why they're renting. They probably have government assistance as well. I don't know what they do for work. I have no idea. But if somebody's looking for work, like kids, teenagers, 16 years old, 17 years old, they can go to work and they can help out.
Well, I
You
mean,
did it. I did it. We've all, I don't know if everybody's done it. I know I did it. I know you did it.
I have. Hey,
So here's
20 years on and off for retail. Okay,
right.
20
Yeah,
years. I worked for
exactly.
security. I was a loss prevention. Okay,
Mhm.
and also I used to work for Wells Fargo. I used to work for the boat show, the horse show, um, and where else? Uh, I did, and then I used to work for another security company, and I used to work, for the Fall River Housing Authority too. Security at the condom and Terrace Towers.
My first job that I had was down the street from my house because I didn't have a car.
Yeah,
I was 16, 17. I think I was 17. I don't remember, something like that.
yeah,
And to work, I went down the street because I could walk there.
yeah,
And the first car that I bought was my father's car
yeah.
that he had. It was a piece of junk.
Entschuldigung, wo ist der Marktplatz?
Yeah, so I mean, there's jobs out there. They just got to. There's jobs out there. There's jobs out there. They have to be willing to get them. You know what I'm saying? So,
Not only that, they have to be willing to start somewhere, and you're going to start at the bottom.
they have to start at
And
the
you're going to
bottom.
have to work your way up. You're not going to start at the top making 60, 70, $80,000 a year unless you go to school for 10 years and
Yeah.
become a lawyer or a judge or whatever.
Hey, look
Or,
here. I make 16.80 an hour. Okay,
yeah.
and that's
So,
so I make 16.80 an hour, and that's 4 years I've been here at that store.
right.
Okay, so I
Right.
make 16.80 an hour. I get my vacations. I get my I get my vacation time. I get my uh, personal days and stuff. I get everything. Okay, at Stop and Shop. Okay, so that's why I love Stop and Shop, because I get everything. Okay, you know, that's why I get everything at Stop and Shop. So that's why I like Stop and Shop. And you know what? I'm gonna stay at Stop and Shop until I'm retired, because I've been working retail for almost 20 years on and
Yeah.
off.
I mean, you're at a point where, you're almost 60. So switching jobs doesn't make any sense, right?
No,
Because
ain't
you
gonna make
want
any
to have
sense. Yeah,
Social Security and all that, unless you plan on doing something else. But the young kids that are 16, that are going to be home, if they're
yeah.
not already out of school, can find work at these places. That would be a perfect job for them to do in the summertime.
Yeah. That'd
In
be
the
even stop and shop perfect to do in the
And
summertime.
all those places that you mentioned would be great for a 16, 17-year-old to start working and making some money in the summertime, and then maybe continue during the school year, like on the weekends or something like that, if they allow it.
Yeah.
There's things that you can do, to make some money instead of looking at welfare and a handout from the government, and um, how to figure out to take advantage of the system and
Yeah.
lie on an application and commit fraud, because that's a crime. That's a crime.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, it's already 9:04 already. I have to get up.
Okay.
I have to get up for work tomorrow. So I'm
All
working
right.
from 9 to 2 tomorrow. So I'm working 5 hours tomorrow. So I have to work, and I'm
Good.
getting a lot tired. So, but
It's
hey,
a
I encourage everyone out there. If anybody's looking for jobs, all the jobs I mentioned, like Raising Canes, the Ice House, Blount Seafood, and Stop and Shop and Market Basket, all those jobs that I mentioned a little before, get out there, fill out an application. Hey, $15 an hour. Look it, you start from the bottom like I did, and you work your way to the top. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Everybody starts at the bottom. Everyone.
everybody, hey, everyone stops at the bottom.
Everybody.
No,
Everybody.
but do you build a house from the top down? No, you don't. You
No.
gotta you gotta build you gotta build the foundation before you can build
Foundation.
the roof.
That's
Before you
right.
build the roof. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Very
anybody
good.
knows that.
Very
So
good analogy. All right.
yes,
I'll talk to you later.
I'll see
Have a
you.
good night.
Hey. You have a good night, and
You
I'll
too.
see you next Wednesday. But we got to get back to those other things that I wanted to mention, but it
Oh
seems.
yeah. I mean, I think it's important to talk about work,
Yeah, work right now. Yeah,
and get the economy going instead of talking about welfare and benefits and the government. That needs to
yeah.
stop. You have to start thinking differently about jobs and work. And it's good to go to work. It's good to have money for
Makes you feel good.
yourself. It does. It does.
It
You'll
makes you
have
feel good.
spending money. You can save it. You can spend it. You can invest it. Whatever.
Hey, look at if not, you can become creative like
That's
me,
right.
and
That's right.
you can become creative like me, and
Hmm.
make a cardboard robot.
Yep.
Look at and see what you can do with that. You know
Right.
that's already becoming a hit. So
Yep.
I'm going to be doing something with that very soon. But anyways,
There you
Lisa,
go.
I'll be on. We're going to definitely have a
Yeah.
show next
We're gonna talk
Wednesday,
again.
and at 6 p.m. And we have to, we
Oh,
have
there's
we
gonna be plenty to talk about in another week.
and another week, of course.
Another week.
What else? What else
Long
is new?
time.
So, hey,
Right.
we don't. Hey, I don't even have my scanner anymore. It went
Good.
obsolete. They changed the codes
Yes.
on it. Yeah,
It's good that you don't listen to it. It's
I
better.
don't want to listen to it. I'd rather just do my live streams and stuff,
Right.
But
Yeah.
anyways, hey, share my live stream on onto yours, and so that way we can get the
I don't know
message
how
out
to do it on StreamYard. Like, I don't know how to do this.
there. When I get off, I'll do it. Okay.
Okay. I
So
don't
I
know
know
how to.
how. Well, because you're old school.
Because
Because you're
I don't have the connections that you have for
yeah.
StreamYard, so I cannot share it because I don't
Mm,
have StreamYard. I don't know how to do it.
yeah.
I think it's easier for you to do it.
I'll do it because right now I'm on YouTube right now,
Totally.
so I'll do it. So,
Yeah.
but,
All right.
but anyways, I want to thank everybody for for coming on, Linda, James, James again, and I want to thank all of you for coming on, and
Listening
I
for
want
3 hours, that's a long
you,
time.
hey, listening for 3 hours. This is the
Yikes.
longest that I. This is the longest that I ever did a show.
It's
It was
crazy.
supposed to be from 8:45, but we got off track a little bit. But hey, it's a good thing. So, but thank you all for watching. And like CJ would say, and Chip,
Yeah.
stay angry and hold your politicians accountable.
Accountable, right.
And get rid of Coogan and Moore Healy. They are no good.
That's
They're
right.
no good. Get rid of
All
them.
of them. They're all
All of
no
them are
good.
no good. And
Yeah.
get rid of who too, whatever her name is.
Who? Oh, yeah,
Uh,
Michelle Wu. Oh,
Michelle Woo Woo. That's what I call her.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah, horrible.
Yep.
But we'll talk all about that
Yeah.
again, and then we'll talk about more jobs.
Yep.
And more
Yep.
job openings
Absolutely.
too. So
Yep.
okay. So you
Yeah,
have a good night,
everybody.
Annalisa.
Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.
Talk to you
Thanks.
later. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
You have to go first. All right. So, anyways, thank you everybody for watching, and remember, there is jobs out there for everybody. Whether if it's $15, it's $15 an hour. I've been actually talking about these jobs for a very long time. So, Stop and Shop is hiring, Ice House, Raising Cane's, all these, Market Basket, Blount Seafood. You'll have they're all hiring out there. So hey, it's a job. So get out there and fill out those applications. We're going to be talking about more about these. So this is Dave Mead for Media News. I'll see you guys I'll see you guys Wednesday. Sorry about yesterday because I had a lot to do. So definitely next Wednesday we will be talking about jobs and more issues more issues to come. So take care, everybody. Have a great night.